got a stalled vehicle, 6440 going east at Prospect. That's on the right shoulder. And some debris on 44 going west at Lindbergh. That's got the right lane blocked there.
All about tons of sunshine on this Wednesday afternoon. Now, it's still breezy. It's not quite as gusty as it has been the last couple of days, but there's still going to be a bit of a wind going through the afternoon. 64 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. Temperatures tumble with the setting sun into the 50s. 43 for the overnight low. Thursday, sunny and 66, 44 Thursday night. Now, Friday, it's a day of increasing clouds. Could be a couple of showers late in the day Friday, and it's cool in the 50s to near 60 degrees for the high Friday. Let's look for periods of rain and chilly fall temperatures for Friday night, Saturday night, especially from the St. Louis area south. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It's a blue sky. Right now, 60 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Every day, it's just getting over a hump saying that. Like, the distance between before I say that and after is the Grand Canyon. Because before I say it, the show hasn't started and I could still leave. But after I say it, you're like, well, I'm committed now.
When you say you could still leave, do you mean like you feel like no one would notice?
Oh, no, they would notice.
Be like, it's your name's on the show.
No, it's sort of one of those more like, I could leave my family and move to New Zealand. You know, it's like I'm not going to get up and leave. But it's one of the things where you're like, I could.
It's still a possibility.
I could do it. Wheels could stop me if he got his hands on me, but good luck.
Yeah. I'm pretty good first step quickness, though.
I don't know. I'm pretty greasy.
If you get 3 steps, you probably got me.
Yeah.
First 2, I might have a chance.
What is going on? Oh, congratulations to our good friend John Pertzborn. He retired today at Fox 2. Happened to be watching when they did it, and they had a big cake, and everyone came out. I think it's 40 years in St. Louis for John. John's a good friend of the show, good friend of mine. Used to be on all the time in the early days of the DGS, which is really kind because there was no reason for him to do it. So well done, my brother, and have a great retirement.
There you go.
That's
great?
awesome. Congratulations, John.
As we all know, very few people in media get to go out on their own terms. Vanishingly few.
Yeah.
Right?
That's pretty uncommon.
Yeah, very uncommon. Also, I got bad news for me. I say in the Smart Mouth commercials all the time how I depend on Smart Mouth because I don't go to the dentist enough, and it's an understatement, and I just live in fear. Like my front tooth is fake, half of it, and it falls out like every 5 years, so I have to go to a dentist. And then they're always like, you could probably use a little work here. And I know it's going to be extensive, and I don't want to do it. And on Friday last week, I bit down on something and kind of cracked my far back tooth on the right. And I was just like, you should have seen me. I was beside myself because I'm like, here it is. Now I got to go. But then I had to plan. I'm like, well, you could just die like this. I mean, it's going to be fine. But it's increasingly like it's not killing me at all, but I can tell. Like,
is it sharp? You get that little poke? Yeah.
Ugh. So if there's any dentist out there who would like a celebrity chicken for a patient, let me know.
Celebrity chicken.
I'm going to have to go to one of those places with gas.
But yeah. A lot of them do it.
Whatever.
I mean, a lot of them will do it.
Yeah.
You just ask and, like, yeah, this helps with whatever, anxiousness, I don't like this or whatever, they'd get that kind of, yep.
I'm afraid of what I would say, but less afraid of that than I am being awake.
That kind of gas doesn't do that to you. It's not the same as like coming out of anesthesia.
Oh, really? I thought it was worse.
No. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't, loosen you up a little bit, but keep in mind the whole time while you're loosened up, there's going to be somebody with their hands in your mouth moving things around and doing stuff.
That's hot.
Kind of hard to
I
talk.
know. Don't tempt me with a good time.
You're like, well, I was going to tell this great big secret, but I can't.
Once again, it's friggin' boiling in this room.
It is hot. I'm
it
already
is-
sweating. This is ridiculous.
I don't feel good. It's that
Yeah.
temperature. I'm like,
I come in
"Ugh."
with a little flannel today. That's not going to last.
Yeah, it's tough for a bald man, man. It's cold out there on a head. So-
now in here, it's like sweaty head.
Yeah, I wore my beanie, and now it's too hot for it.
We've got a big fan in here, and that's just me. No, I'm kidding. We've got a big fan in here behind me.
Jeez.
If you guys want it,
I'm so glad you said you're kidding. I wouldn't have known what you're talking about.
Yeah.
there's a big fan in here. If you guys want it in there, I don't know how disruptive. I don't think it would be super disruptive to the on-air product. If you want to try it on the break,
We'll try it.
You just have a background buzz.
Yeah, it's okay.
But then Andrew's going to be warm.
I'll be fine.
He can open his door.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
We can't open the door.
Sarah Finsky's coming in today at 2 p.m. I've not met her in person. That should be fun.
Yeah, I'm
Be a
excited.
good
for that.
interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had.
All right. Good times. Man, did you mention that it's hot in here?
Man, is it hot in here.
Now I can't think of anything else.
You got a fan in there, Andrew?
Yeah, I got a big fan, and hey, that's just me.
Mhm.
I thought this was kind of cool. Women think that this viral Venn diagram is extremely accurate. So we all remember Venn diagrams, right?
All right.
Like all mammals are this and all that are this. Here it is. There are 3 Venn diagrams. If a man is smart and nice, he's probably a nerd. If he's smart and handsome, he's probably a jerk. If he's handsome and nice, he's probably dumb.
Come on.
I'm trying to imagine the Venn diagram of men agreeing on how women shake out like this.
I was going to say, you do that, it's going to all of a sudden be a controversy.
I mean, it just seems
People are gonna get yelled
pretty
at.
silly.
You can't do that.
I could do one, though.
Yeah, what if you're all 3?
Yeah, you're smart.
I guess you're just like the
handsome.
catch then, right?
Well, there's only
When
2.
you're what's that?
No, I guess there are 3.
Yeah.
Smart, nice, and handsome.
What if you're all 3?
And you're in the middle.
Not that I need to know that, but
Yeah, I don't know. So,
is that just like automatic win? Like no matter what? Like if you're all 3 of those, it's no loss.
yeah, I guess you're like
But what about mean? You could be mean and you can't be mean and nice, I guess.
right.
Kind of hard to do that.
I think I'm definitely in the nerd category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's that one again?
Smart and nice.
Smart,
Yeah.
sexy, and cool.
No
and
handsome.
talented.
Yeah. I don't know. That just seems a broad definition. Well, of course, by definition,
an
all this
internet
is.
meme,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think this is scientific.
Go get me my pocket protector.
Okay, I'm looking at an article about this, Dave.
Yeah.
And it's saying that if you are all 3, you're gay. That's what it says. Meaning like they're
Lord.
unavailable for women to date.
So
Oh.
straight guys can't be nice, smart, and handsome.
That's what this silly little meme is saying.
All
I
right.
thought Rachel was doing a joke.
No, that's
But
pretty
she
funny,
was
though.
like, "Oh, you dreamed about horses and the ocean. Oh, I mean, you're gay."
He's like straight out of the interaction in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
You like Coldplay?
Man, if I had a nickel for every time Rach said that in a day.
So I was like, "Wow, okay, Rach."
Hey, Rach, I'm going to Emar. You want a soda? No, you're gay.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Wow,
All
getting in
right.
with the jokes. All right."
Fine,
Yeah.
fine. Speaking of that joke, did you see that Elon used it on Secretary Sean Duffy?
I
No.
did see that.
They're having a kerfuffle because I guess NASA canceled some of their contracts.
NASA's saying like they're not keeping up. SpaceX isn't keeping up.
And so Sean Duffy made a long, normal post about why they're doing that. And Elon Musk, with more followers than anyone in the world, just posted a meme that said, "Why are you gay?" At least we're serious.
Everyone is 13 years old.
I mean-
everyone in the world is 13 years old.
We've got the press secretary of the White House making your mom jokes to people asking questions. That happened last week.
Didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a question about who did this, and they're like, she goes, "Your mom."
It was about
like, you gotta be kidding me,
it was about
man.
Ukraine and Budapest, and it was like who
Yeah, who
decided
selected
who
Budapest.
selected that as the location
she
because
said
there's a
your
lot of bloody
mom?
history.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she said it in a text, and she was the one who screenshotted it and posted it. So she's very proud of herself with that retort.
It's like, yeah, you're grown-ups. That would have been hilarious, by the way. In 7th grade, we would have really laughed at that. Like, we would have been like,
Oh, yeah, he's the
burn!
king.
Burn!
He's the king.
I do have a question, though.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this ever since the "your mom" reply. My question is, when are we supposed to be serious?
Apparently never. It's all
Because
about
it
owning
seems
everybody.
Like if you're president, you don't ever have to be serious. If you're the White House press secretary, you don't have to be serious. If you're Elon Musk, the richest, one of the most influential
No.
people on the planet, like you don't ever have to be. So why is it that I have to be? I mean, I get that I'm on a very fun show and we get to joke around all day, but there are many, many situations in my life where I have to be professional and I
Yeah.
have to be serious.
Yeah.
Why do they get to?
Well, just think about the
Just-
people covering them. If anybody covering them said anything remotely like those things to them, they'd be banished
Immediately.
because they're bullies. I mean, that's what they're doing. So you're going to make your mom jokes, with people that are asking you legitimate professional questions related to your job. But if somebody were to dare be that smart-assy back at you, you'd ban them from the press room. They would immediately be enemy number one.
Don't you think it's just a simple equation of bad taste and power?
Yeah.
That you can have power, but not have sufficient bad taste to dump AI poop on people or say your mom or why are you gay? But if you do have that sort of bad taste and you have all the power, 2 + 2.
Elon also called Sean Duffy Sean Dummy.
Ooh,
Oh, wow. He burn.
that's going to stick.
Sick burn.
Mhm.
If you're the smartest man in the world, that's all you got?
Rach, you made a point the other day in the office, maybe you can make it again, where you were saying, like, all this stuff, what bothers you most is how not funny they are.
Yeah.
Well, it bothers me when it's like, you just don't like it because you don't have a sense of humor and you don't know it's funny. And it's like, no. I don't think that I'm looking at something that is objectively funny and then choosing to have no sense of humor about it. I think I'm looking at a situation that I wish was handled with competency.
Yeah.
And I don't leave a lot of room for like, hilarious. Like, I don't care. I actually don't care if the president is funny or not. I would 100% just take someone who kind of nose to the grindstone, getting
Humorless.
things done. Yeah, I don't need my president or anyone in government, for that matter,
Not what we're looking for.
to make me chuckle.
But
Yeah,
also, the
agree.
people that are always yelling, you don't have a sense of humor. Donald Trump sued Bill Maher for a joke.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is
I mean,
like
you
if-
can't be that sensitive and then be you guys don't get it. Well, you can be, obviously, when you're in power. You get to say everything matters that I say matters, and if I say it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Got a message, Nitel. I've never heard that name. Nitelle. Says, Dave, no need for gas at the dentist. They now have this cream which deadens your gums before you even get the shot. My last few shots when getting a tooth filled were painless. Nitel. You don't know who you're dealing with here. Like, I had so much dental work when I was a kid. I have a tiny, tiny mouth, and I had a bunch of teeth pulled, and I had braces forever and retainers, and I had to go to the orthodontist once a month and a dentist once a month. And so as a grown-up, I just made that choice, like, okay, well, I'm just going to not do this as much. And, like, most decisions I made in that bucket, it's come back to bite me on the butt.
Mhm.
Learn from me, kids. It's such a cliche. Like, you hear old people all the time say, save your money and take care of your teeth. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do either one of those.
You know what's ridiculous is I don't have really any anxiety about the dentist, but I haven't been since pre-COVID.
Mm.
I have a dentist appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. So I'm
Can I go with
looking
you?
forward to. Yeah, you can just come and just
This is
kind
my
of
friend Dave.
Yeah, he's just gonna do some immersion therapy here. See me go through it, make him feel a little better about his situation. But yeah, I have no excuse other than whenever I was a teenager, my mommy would make my appointments for me.
Yeah.
And I grew up and stopped doing that.
It is so hard to make a doctor's appointment.
It's tough. It's
Why
tough.
is it so hard?
I think it's weird.
Such a challenge.
Being my age now, watching young people have real lives. Like my son Nick is 30 and been with the same girl for 6 years. They live together and, planning a life and all this kind of stuff. And it's not so much Nick. It's just more people his age when you're my age. And when you were that age, you did the same thing. But now it seems like, what are you doing playing house? Get back in the schoolyard.
Sorry.
Got her.
Sorry, I was
Got
taking
her.
a deep inhale to ask you a question, and then something went down the wrong pipe.
Something went down the
Too
Twinkie
much
pipe.
air. Too much air.
Let me tell you guys about Bethesda. I think you know my connection with Bethesda. My mom was there and doing the No One Dies Alone there. And they have asked me if I would help them out with talking about 7 of their communities, which are not skilled nursing. They're not assisted living. They are, you live on your own. You can live, get 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, depending on your situation. We have 7 communities like that. I've seen most all of them. One is just more beautiful than the next. They're all very strategically placed in towns within, steps or a very, very short car ride away from grocery stores and coffee shops and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you about Village North. One of the hidden gems in Florissant, Village North offers each resident a unique balance of independence and scheduled activities. More than 100 apartments with a variety of floor plans, 45 sprawling acres with a lake, walking paths, and a waterside gazebo. Each and every one of these places have ample outdoor areas and water features and just very, very beautiful and serene. So whether it's you that may be at that age where you say, you know what, I'm tired of taking care of the house, I'm tired of taking care of the lawn, but I'm not ready for assisted living, check these out. And if it's your mom or dad, just maybe subtly, bring that up, because people my age and up grew up with legit nursing homes, which were not nice. And anytime, I know this from talking to my mom, when you bring that up with an older person, there's going to be a big defensive wall. But if you get them to one of these places, they're going to be blown away. For Village North, 314-355-8010. For the other 7 or anything else you're interested in with Bethesda, BethesdaHealth.org.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
There's your song, Rach.
I love this song. I love this totally unnecessary, weird song that was written for reasons I will never understand about a little boy hating his baby
Stupid sister ruined my whole life.
So good.
Even though I was like 19 when she was born.
She came and she took away all the attention.
That's how Kevin feels about his sister.
No.
When you said I was the only son, I thought I was the only one. It's like the Menendez trial or something. Lots of recommendations for my dental fear. Amy says dental anesthesia center in Clayton. Everything about that sounds good. I also like that ad for Troy Dentistry, the one where the kid's fishing. He's off, deep sea fishing, and then they're doing the dental stuff on him. So,
what?
You haven't seen that one?
I have not.
Yeah, it's like a teenage boy, and he's doing offshore fishing, and then he wakes up, and the dentists are like, "How do you feel?" He's like, "Great," and he goes back into his dream.
That's fun.
Yeah. Can listeners, can you hear that fan blowing? Since we have the heaters full blast in our studio, let me know in the stream.
You need a wardrobe change here, real quick.
Just take off. Oh, you have a T-shirt underneath.
Yeah, I know. The problem is it's white, and I'm sweating through it. So unless you want a wet T-shirt contest.
Man, you in a wet white tee would look total Hoosier.
Dude, I mean.
So scary.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yes.
You think I'm scary?
Yes.
Let's splash him up. Let's find out.
Splash him up.
Yeah,
Let's
that
get this
sounds
going.
really awful. Don't say it like that.
You're giant, have a volcanic temper, and you're wearing like a white T-shirt and it's all pitted out. That's
It's
terrifying.
got sleeves on it.
Yeah.
That's why you're pitted out.
And they're not rolled up.
They're not going to cover your guns.
No, I mean the T-shirt's got sleeves. It's not like
you can't be pitted out on a tank top.
Well, you kind of can, but it's different. Yeah. It's
Wes
different.
says he can't hear the fans.
Good,
so.
Wes. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate it.
I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry.
I think I can fix it. I'll fix it on the break.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah, we hear a lot of whining and complaining from the listeners.
Jeez.
Gosh.
What if they're just trying to be helpful?
They're not.
Hey, just so you guys know.
They're not being
Just so you guys know,
They're
trying to help you out. And Andrew's like, damn it, don't help me out.
They're just whining.
I'm wearing a bracelet today, which I never do.
Yeah, you rarely do. I wear a
feel
lot
like
more bracelets than you do.
Yeah. I feel like a different person.
How do you feel?
I feel like I could take on anything.
Do you feel fancy?
Today. I feel like I should be pointing a lot. Showing the bracelet
Just
off.
holding it. Yeah, I get you.
Is it a tennis bracelet?
It's not. It's like a bangle. It's a cute little like clip-on bangle thing.
Imagine the bracelets I would wear if I were a woman.
Would you have like Wonder Woman bracelets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got enough as a
Deflecting
boy,
bullets.
so. Yeah, I kind of dig jewelry.
So you missed your era then, because like back in the day,
oh yeah,
they always had like the wrist things and
Yeah.
a bunch of rings and.
I had plenty.
Yeah.
I've had
I'm
plenty of
surprised
jewelry.
You're not like a ring guy or like a multiple necklace guy.
Well, I kind of am, but I also, it's a battle between my fashion sense, which would be more bohemian than what I even dress, and my insecurity of being a douche. Because I have crossed that line numerous times in my life. And so once a year I'll shop for rings. Like Dave Cowles, who's in my band, wears turquoise rings, but he's Dave Cowles, and he gets to do that. You know, Jimmy dresses like Jimmy, but he's Jimmy. If I show up with turquoise rings and dress like Jimmy, people are like, what the hell are you doing?
You should wear a pinky ring.
I think you have just as much right to rings as Dave Cowles does.
All right, that's very kind of you.
Just don't do the turquoise because he's already doing that.
That's right. I'll go emerald.
Turquoise Brothers.
I'll tell you guys about the Gelman team. Very good friends of mine, Mark and Neil. We've done a lot of community stuff together. They're very philanthropic. Not that that's why you should have them sell your house, but just know that they're very good guys and good community stewards. Nick worked for them for a couple of years, so I have a really good inside look at them. They've done about 3 transactions for me, so I have actually been the client. And like when I bought that place out in Innsbruck, it was on a floodplain. And it was on stilts. And Innsbruck was like, we have no idea what's going on. And, no one had any idea what was going on. And I really, wanted to make that purchase. And they were somehow able to get in there and do their magic and get it off the floodplain. It all went down. It was really cool. Fall and winter is a favorite time of the Gelmans to sell houses. So don't be afraid. If you list your house this fall or winter, you'll be one of the few houses on the market, which makes you more special. Just simple mathematics. If you want to find out what your house is worth right now, go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, put in your address. That's it. If and when you're ready to talk, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunshine and deep blue skies across St. Louis going through our Wednesday afternoon as our days get shorter and shorter. It's breezy this afternoon, not quite as windy as we have been, but winds will be in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. 64 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and cold. 50s for evening plans, 43 for the low. Thursday, sunny and 66. Friday, increasing clouds, 60. That's it for the high, so mainly in the 50s. Periods of rain and chilly fall temperatures. St. Louis south, Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Furnace funky?
Then make one call.
And Jerry Kelly will be there the very next day.
Call anytime, 8 to 8, 8 days a week.
And Jerry Kelly will fix your furnace or install a new one the very next day.
JerryKelly.com. Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's gonna be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, will be hosting his Taxes and Retirement Seminar at his office in Chesterfield on October 28th. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will not only cover the hurdles you'll face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club.
Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Dave Glover, celebrating 25 years.
Dave, Tom Ackerman, congratulations on 25 years. My radio brother. You just have this great sound and somebody that I absolutely follow on a daily basis. Just think you're great at what you do. Congratulations.
Sponsored by Law Office of Susan L. Ward.
Welcome back, DGS. I think this is the very first song, and I was little, like 5, that I heard and I knew it was a rocker. I didn't know what that meant. Just the only music I'd heard was my mom and dad's, like big band and stuff like that. And then I got this album and listened to this song, and I was just like, wow, this is doing something funny to me. Love that song.
All of a sudden, I started doing the twist.
Yeah, no, it just isn't that funny how you just know, something just hits you and you're like, wow.
Yeah. Especially with little kids and music like that. I'm sure lots of musicians have stories just like that where it's like, yep, I heard this song and kind of everything changed at that point.
We, as I told you, are doing a deal with our friends over at Bissinger's for the 25th anniversary and for Operation Food Search. And what they're doing is they put together 7 of my favorite truffles. And they're going to be coming out sometime mid-November in a little sleeve that'll be Dave's Picks or 25th anniversary, what have you. And every penny of it, courtesy of Bissinger's, is going to go to Operation Food Search. Isn't that kind?
So cool.
So kind. Here's what we picked out. Milk chocolate peanut butter, dark chocolate raspberry, white Russian, milk chocolate Swiss, milk tiramisu, pecan caramel, and dark sea salt caramel. Not bad.
Oh, no. Now I have to go to Bissinger's.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Darn it.
Bissinger's is dangerous, though.
Dude.
You're going in for one thing, and you're not leaving with that one thing. You're going to leave with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, if you go to if you go to the location on the hill, they have the broken up candy where you can get a big bag of it for a couple of bucks.
Yeah, they call it the Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
pretty
a
cool.
nice place.
I did not know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
I wonder if this bothers other people. We talk about TikTok and stuff a lot. I found this psychologist, and her name was Dr. something, PhD, and she was talking about early childhood trauma and, the kind of things it can lead to. And I watched maybe a dozen of her videos. I didn't like her, but
You're engaging.
It was feeding me a lot. And then this morning she comes on and she's doing a dance, like a sexy dance in her kitchen. And I'm like, are you even a doctor? I mean, I guess psychologists can dance in their kitchens, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I was taking you seriously. Now, as I say this, I sound terrible because it's like you have to stay in your lane, but you can't do both.
Go ahead, Reels.
I think it just depends on what you're doing, right? Might be best if you're, I don't know, counselor or a doctor or somebody like that to maybe focus on that? If that's what you're doing? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, Wheels. I would never begrudge like an in real life therapist from having a social media account and kind of posting whatever they would like there.
Right.
But if you're marketing yourself as like, hey, you should listen to me because I'm a mental health professional, I think it's just good business practice to this is the perfect example of when you probably should stay in your lane. If you just want people to take your mental health advice seriously. There's nothing wrong with dancing on TikTok. It's just, it was probably a little jarring for you to witness.
Yeah. Also being very hypocritical because of how much advertising I do. I saw this young black kid, 30s, who talks about atheism and agnosticism and religion. It's really interesting. Like, he has a different take on it, and I watched everything he did. And then the last one I saw, he was selling, like, beet juice. And again, like, very hypocritical of me, but I was just like, oh, okay. I was just disappointed in that.
Was the beet juice, did it look good?
No.
That was the worst part.
Beet juice sounds terrible.
Yeah, beet juice does sound awful.
Beets anything sounds terrible.
I kind of like a beet salad now and then.
Really?
Yeah.
No thanks.
I was a little surprised, speaking of TikTok, I think that what's going on, like with the SNAP benefits, welfare in general, entitlements, I think they're fair game. I think that is a perfectly valid political discussion to have. I think we have too many people with entitlements and we're spending too much. I think this, I think that. I think all those things are valid. But I was just personally a little taken aback by how many videos I saw last night of people being very mean, like kind of this go get a job. No one needs to be on SNAP. No one needs benefits. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. You and your 5 kids who don't have fathers. Like, it was really like, wow. I was a little surprised. Should I not be surprised?
I just want to know if those people have the same energy for all the huge corporations and billionaires that want more tax breaks. Why do you need more? Why do you need to subsidize your very successful business with my tax money? I mean, I'm okay with that energy, but let's have that energy across the board. Let's not be like, well, if you're an individual and you're struggling and you need some help, that's fine. But if you're a bank, we'll bail you out. If you're an automotive company, if you're a really rich guy and you just want better taxes, that's fine.
I think people should be very careful when they say things like that online, because as we've went over many times with our friends at Operation Food Search who deal with food insecurity, that's their whole thing. It could happen to any of us. None of us are morally superior somehow or incapable of losing our jobs, losing our homes, being hungry, having a hard time feeding our kids. That's not a moral failing. And it's ridiculous to paint with a broad brush and say no one should ever need these benefits. I mean, I hope you never fall on hard times. And I hope if you do fall on hard times, people are a lot more compassionate with you than you're being with others.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I just saw this yesterday. I put it on the rundown. So there are lines a block long because federal workers need to go to food banks because they haven't gotten paid in 3 or 4 weeks. And that illustrates the point that we hear all the time when we do Operation Food Search. A lot of people are like one missed paycheck away from not having food. A lot of people. And these are people that want to be at work, but are not at work because of political nonsense. Because we have to own our opponents. We can't make a deal for the good of the people that are running the country, that are actually doing the day-to-day work. So those people are in lines at food banks, which is further stressing food banks that already have a lot of clients that needed it before that. And we're going to sit here and be mean about it. I saw a lot of people, I don't know how many of them were real. It felt like a lot of them were staged. The people who were farmers that, wanted to vote for tariffs and now they hate it because the tariffs are killing them. Well, maybe have the same empathy for others that you want now when you're in trouble. Because there's a reason why, we've gotten into this point is we're all voting. Well, I don't know. We're voting for weird reasons. We're not voting in self-interest. We're just voting because feelings. Somebody made me feel a certain way. I don't care who that is. They make me feel a certain way rather than voting on like policy. and ideas, and how do we make things better for everybody as opposed to how do I win? You don't win when half of your fellow countrymen lose or when a large percentage lose. You don't win when all of these federal workers have to be in a line for food at a food bank because they haven't gotten paid in a month, and it doesn't look like they're going to get paid anytime soon. I mean, we need to have the same energy for all of these things and for the people that are powerful and wealthy who won't do a damn thing about it to fix it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't benefit them. They're selfish, and they play these games for selfish reasons, and then we're like, well, yeah, of course they are. It's just business. Well, why isn't it just business when it's someone else?
Yeah. Since I've been in a position to help people, which I always have not, I always try to be overly generous because, like, for example, here downtown, we have lots of homeless people, and most of the time I'll give them money, and most of the time I'll give them a fairly substantial amount because my brother was homeless.
Right.
He was homeless for about 6 months, and we didn't know that until after his death. He had filed a workman's comp claim, and they did a deposition, and he talked about that and how he lived on, $5 a day, as much hamburger and white bread as he could eat. And knowing that my brother was out there, though everyone you see out there could be someone's brother, there's someone's son, maybe someone's dad.
Yeah.
Not that I'm some great person, just to illustrate the point that when people say to me, and they do, oh, you're a fool, they're just going to use that on drugs or alcohol or something. It's a fair point, and it's a valid position to take. I've just always decided, like, well, I don't know. So I'm going to err on the side of someone's out there on a sidewalk, right? $20 could change their day. So if they're going to go use it on drugs or alcohol, and that's the way they want to change their day, okay. But it's just hard. I don't know.
Well, it's right now, essentially, it's one or the other, right? It's either that or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and nothing's not going to help that person either. And it's harder because sometimes it's better if it works. You're like, I've had a few times where I'm like, I'm not giving you money, but I'll buy you something to eat. I've seen you do that multiple times.
Yeah.
And but it's not always possible.
Remember that guy ordered $44 worth of chicken tenders? I didn't know you could do that at KFC.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, you took me on that one pretty good.
Yeah,
but
at least it's food, though.
Yeah, at least it's food.
Red Kingdom is back at FanDuel Sports Network Live in Ballpark Village. See every game on the largest screen in town. Don't forget about the $25 buckets, $5 cocktails, and the best tailgate food around. Grab your friends along with Kingdom OX and huddle up for the games at the best watch party in town. If you can't make it, but don't want to miss a down, listen to the Chiefs on Kingdom OX or Kingdom OX on the Odyssey app. For more info, KingdomOX.com/events.
From your friends at Lombardo Homes, congrats to Dave Glover and the DGS Show on 25 years of building something great. Thanks for keeping St. Louis entertained, informed, and laughing all along the way.
I'll tell you guys about Neovitin. I think you know about Neovitin if you listen to the show. It is a locally created, made in the U.S., which is important because of the regulations. It's next to many Chinese products, and just because something's from China doesn't mean it's subpar, but it does mean that they don't have regulations. So you hope that it has all the things that it says that it has. With Neovitin, you know that it does. 20 ingredients, vitamins, antioxidants, omega-3 fish oils. I don't like taking big pills. I never have, actually, but the older I get, the less I like it. And these are very easy to swallow. No problem there. You take 2 pills a day. Cost less than $1 a day. A portion of that, the proceeds of every bottle are going to go to cancer research in honor of our founder, Dr. Ken Ribicki, my doctor and my very good friend going back all those years. If you would like to buy it locally, do it right off the shelves at Schnucks and Deerbergs or online at neovitin.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Welcome back, DGS 149. Wheels, you see that nosebleed seats are $4,000 for the World Series?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got 2 huge cities, a lot of money in Toronto, a lot of money. I'm not even talking about payroll. I'm just talking about people living there. You got 2 huge cities, and obviously L.A. is always going to be in demand because of the population, and they're just a big show. But Toronto, man, they got a whole country, a whole ass country watching them, and there's going to be a lot of demand. I mean, they haven't been in the World Series in 30 years. So, good for them.
Did they win 30 years ago?
Yeah, they did. They won back-to-back 92, 93.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I remember. Okay, yes, the back-to-back.
That's the last there. That's the one of the, I think.
You remembered that?
There's a Drake song that
Yeah.
references
Oh,
it.
okay.
And he's a
I was going to say, I had no idea about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the Joe Carter. Remember the Joe Carter home run? Hit the home run in the World Series off the Phillies. It was the walk-off to, World Series ender. He's, running around the bases. That was a pretty good team, those Blue Jays teams.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys see that, no shade, I don't want to judge, but Suzanne Summers' husband has made an AI version of her so that she can commune with him, her family, and her fans. And he says he's been working on it for a year, and it is indistinguishable from his wife. She looks exactly like her. She says all the things. I guess they uploaded everything she'd ever been in and everything she'd ever said. Thoughts?
I think if Suzanne Summers were here, it might be a little hurtful to hear you can't tell the difference between me and the robot me.
Good point.
But at the same time, I don't, like you said, Dave, I don't want to be too judgmental because everyone handles grief differently, and some folks are going to have a really hard time moving on. I understand why this would provide comfort for some people. I just wonder how healthy it is to dwell for this long after someone is, to try to keep holding on to the actual person instead of trying to make peace and just reflect on the wonderful memories and live your current life.
Evidently, I just read an article. It's going to make people wonder what I do in my spare time, but about morticians, that the wave of the next, generation will be that you can go to a tombstone. Now they have QR codes where you can hit it and it'll say oh, this is Dave Glover and he blah, blah, blah. But it will have that feature just like Suzanne Summers, where you can go visit your mom or dad at a gravestone or wherever it happens to be, maybe in your home, and just commune with them. Like holographic, like Prince going on tour and that kind of thing. There's your holographic dad sitting in his same chair talking to you about the new Cardinal season.
You know what it would be like? Because it's not them. So it would be like hey, I write fan letters to Dave Glover every week, and he always responds. It's not actually him, it's his producer, Andrew, but I always get a response. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
not the real thing.
You're getting something out of it, but you're not getting the thing you really want out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bad example, but...
Man, the things we're going to see before we die, it's going to be crazy.
Like, I don't have an issue with the idea that eventually something like that could be a memorial, because think about it. 100 years ago, people would have thought it was weird. They had video of dead family member, and you could just watch video of the past. People would have thought, oh, my God, I don't know. That's kind of jarring. So we'll get past that. But I think it's a little weird to try to make the AI version and maybe make it public. Because he said for fans to interact. Well, what? That's weird. It almost makes it seem like you're trying to some way monetize it.
Yes.
Which maybe they're not. Maybe it'll be free and you just, Suzanne Summers AI chatbot or whatever. But I don't know. There's something odd about making it a public thing as opposed to some kind of private memorial like you're describing.
Now, apparently this was Suzanne Summers' idea. And now I'm remembering, was it her or Barbara Streisand that had like all the cloned dogs? Kind of a similar.
Barbara.
Okay. All right. Disregard. Bring it
Yeah,
in.
that would have been ironic, wouldn't it? Yeah. Andrew, if God forbid you lost Megan and someone offered you an AI version of her just to be with you all the time, would you want it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if that's healthy, but maybe. I'd consider it at least.
Like choose your pain kind of thing.
Why? Is there something I don't know?
No, Suzanne Summers' husband has created one of her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we're just discussing the various...
It would really depend, I guess, on how accurate it is, right? Like, I don't want ChatGPT with my wife's voice. You know what I mean? That's not something that I'd be interested in.
What more could it be?
I don't know.
See, this is the thing that's harder for a regular person as opposed to a famous person, right? Because with Suzanne Summers, you have how many TV shows and movies that she was in. You can put in all of her mannerisms, all of the different voices that she, her at different ages.
Is she
she's
dead?
written, yeah, a couple years ago.
Oh, I don't
she
know.
wrote all kinds of books, so you can put all of that material into this too. Like the average person doesn't have that. You're going to have some video, right? Some home videos, maybe. I don't know how many audio recordings do normal people have of themselves. It's a lot more challenging to recreate that. Now with someone with a wide body of like digital work, visual and audio, that makes it maybe a little more real, or can make it the opportunity to make it more real.
Real quick, we only have 30 seconds. Would you want that done of you?
No, I would not.
Don't care, but like if you did it, it's fine.
It made her happy, I guess.
I'll be dead, so
yeah. I mean, not to be morbid about it, but I feel much the same way that Kevin does. I mean, I won't be around to have a problem with it.
So not your call.
Just don't do something weird with it, right?
If it makes her happy, do something weird with it. I'd rather you do something weird with it.
Oh no, I mean like don't like turn me into a Twilight fan or something.
I want to be the voice of the like McDonald's and Taco Bell drive-through AIs. That's what I want. Do something weird. Make it interesting.
Tell you guys about Dr. Maupin at BioBalance Health. And let me talk about BioBalance Skin. I talk about the pellets all the time. At BioBalance Skin, you have a whole staff of estheticians who are there for anything from just pleasant, you want a facial or you want this or you want that, to actually making a difference in your face. They do Botox, they do chemical peels, and they do microneedling. Microneedling is one of my favorites. My band is probably playing on Black Friday, and I will probably get a microneedling about a week before that. It doesn't hurt much. Like, I'm covered in tattoos. It's nothing like that. Put numbing cream on your face, and it takes maybe 20 minutes. And, you're kind of red, like a little sunburn when you leave. And then every day for the next couple of weeks, your skin just looks fantastic. Like, mine looked the best it's ever looked. It eventually, goes back the way it was. But, it's great for an event, class reunion, wedding, something like that. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3 3-day kitchen and bath.
Rochelle talks about her experience with 3-day kitchen and bath.
It was a wonderful experience. I had heard about them on the radio. They come out to your house. They let you know what they do. They let you pick out your features, your colors, and then they come into your home the morning they start. They walk you through, this is what's going to happen, and you leave for a few days, and you come home, and it's done.
Was it easy?
It made it easy because you're not in the middle of a mess for 2 or 3 months. Left on a Tuesday morning, and it was done on a Thursday night. We came home Friday morning early because we were so excited.
What was your reaction when you first saw it?
Wow. Wow.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So, you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Thank you, Missouri, for making Genesis of St. Charles your #1 and most trusted Genesis dealer for 2025. Thrilling offers for an unforgettable season are now here at Genesis of St. Charles. For a limited time only, get 0% APR for up to 60 months on all new Genesis models. You don't want to miss this one. These offers absolutely end October 31st. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024 on approved credit for Genesis Finance. See dealer for details.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock right now, we've got sunshine. It's 62 degrees downtown at the Arch. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page is trying to block prosecutors from using certain evidence against him.
Page's attorneys are filing a motion to block prosecutors from using his cell phone against him in his criminal trial. Their argument, the judge who granted the warrant was misled. Page's attorney, Matthew Ratterfield.
There are, statements that are, misstatements. There are omissions that are on here that weren't told to the judge, and they should be.
Ratterfield argues probable cause would not be given if the information was properly presented. Part of that information, the assistant county counselor approved the language used in the Proposition B flyer the county sent out at the heart of the criminal case. This information is also a part of their motion to dismiss. If that fails, they are requesting a speedy trial, hoping to have one no later than April to avoid the case dragging into Page's potential re-election campaign. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to the Office of Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. We've not heard back yet. Without extension of the ACA tax credits, people's health insurance premiums could rise 114%. Metro East Congressman Nikki Budzinski says that's why Democrats have drawn the line in the sand when it comes to reopening the government.
In my district, about 14,000 constituents rely on the ACA tax credits to make ACA affordable. We'd like to see those extended. We want Republicans to address this manufactured healthcare crisis that I would argue is a lot of their own making.
Budzinski tells Chris and Amy Republicans' Medicaid cuts weren't about efficiency and would have detrimental effects on families, children, and rural hospitals. She says Democrats want to negotiate, but Speaker Johnson won't call House members back to Washington.
Very
Downtown-based developer New and Found broke ground today on a $195 million project to bring Mansion House back to life. The 28-floor high-rise first welcomed tenants the same year the Arch opened to the public, but has grown into disrepair. New and Found CEO Steve Smith.
We're doing that because we believe in downtown. We also believe downtown is critically important for the entire 15-county region, the 2.8 million people that live in this region. This is the front door of St. Louis to the world.
If all goes to plan, spring 2027 is when the first of 415 units will be move-in ready. The new Mansion House will have starting rent of $1,100. President Trump meets with the NATO Secretary General today at the White House.
Mark Rutte is promoting NATO's support for Ukraine and a 12-point peace plan to end the war. The plan calls for a ceasefire based on current battle lines, the return of Ukrainian children, and an exchange of Ukrainian and Russian prisoners. Rutte's visit to the White House follows last week's visit by Ukrainian President Zelensky. The Ukrainian leader asked for the U.S. to provide long-range Tomahawk missiles, but came away empty-handed, even as Russia continued its attacks inside Ukraine, including an overnight strike that killed at least 6 civilians. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com. Ford is recalling a host of vehicles over their rear-view cameras. Matt Piper breaks it down.
Ford is recalling nearly 1.5 million vehicles over an issue with the rear-view camera that safety regulators say could increase the risk of a crash. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the camera on certain Ford vehicles can display distorted images or a blank screen when a vehicle is in reverse. The recall involves popular Ford models including the Explorer, Escape, Mustang, and Taurus.
Dow from Stiefel down 379 points to 46,545. Stalled vehicle 44 West at Bowles. That's on the right shoulder. Road work on 364 East at Route K. That's got the left lane closed.
Sunshine and deep blue skies across St. Louis going through our Wednesday afternoon as our days get shorter and shorter. It's breezy this afternoon, not quite as windy as we have been, but winds will be in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. 64 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and cold. 50s for evening plans, 43 for the low. Thursday, sunny and 66. Friday, increasing clouds, 60. That's it for the high, so mainly in the 50s. Periods of rain and chilly fall temperatures. St. Louis south, Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
And right now, out there, we've got some sun, some clouds. It's 62 in St. Peter's and Florissant and downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Wednesday to you. This last couple weeks of weather just been tremendous. This is so my kind of weather. But I'm pissed because I've been looking forward to beanie season. And it's finally cold enough outside, but it's hotter than balls in here. So I keep a beanie on, beanie off, like I'm trying to wash my head or something. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can see that we have a guest. It's Sarah Finsky from St. Louis Magazine. How are you?
I'm good.
It's so nice to meet you in person.
It is nice to meet you in person.
Yeah.
And I timed this for beanie season. You got
Yes,
your beanie on.
there you go.
I didn't wear my beanie.
Yeah. All women look great in hats.
Is that right?
Hats and glasses.
I should probably be wearing hats and glasses then. I'm doing it all wrong. Story of my life.
Yeah, we did that one time on the show when Mark Close was on the show. Remember, he was obsessed with women who have caps and ponytails sticking out the back of the cap.
Man, that might have been before my time.
Yeah, very specific. A very specific fetish.
That's a common one, though. I've heard that before.
Is it really?
Yeah, the ponytail through the cap. Yes, I have heard that.
Okay, I am not hanging out with people who are honest enough about what they find attractive.
Yeah.
That is so oddly specific.
Yeah, you need to hang out here more.
Apparently.
We'll tell you all the good and the bad.
More bad, though.
I know your basic story, but I love getting people's stories. So introduce yourself to the KMOX audience. Go back as far as you want.
Oh, boy. I've got one of these complicated stories because that is the only way you can still be employed in print journalism is if you're willing to move and you can, like, pick yourself back up after your whole newspaper shuts down. Like, yeah. So I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I moved to St. Louis.
Let me stop you already.
Sorry.
What is Cleveland like?
Cleveland is very cloudy. So when I was a kid growing up in Cleveland, I think I had the worst case of seasonal affective disorder, and I really did not realize this. I just thought I was an unhappy, crabby person and that I was always too cold. And then I finally managed to leave Cleveland when I'm in my 20s.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm a happy person. I had no idea. So people are like, oh, would you ever go back to Cleveland? I'm like, maybe for a weekend? Like, it's too cloudy there.
Wow.
I like St. Louis a lot better.
How about that?
The sun, I mean, a day like today where the sky is so blue, you might get 10 of those days in Cleveland, like in a year. And here I feel like in St. Louis, we get that like 200 days a year.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Is Cleveland more East Coast or more Midwest?
More East Coast.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like the very edge, like the sort of trashy edge of the East Coast. And like it's a lot of Eastern Europeans. Everybody has a chip on their shoulder. Everybody looks like hell because the sun never shines. Everybody's overweight. And like, but like going to a sports game there, like people are so intense. Like one of my earliest memories was going to Cleveland Municipal Stadium, which is like it sat 100,000 people. There were like 2,000 people at it because the Indians were so bad when I was a kid. I was rooting for the visiting team, and a bunch of people like yelled at me and confronted me, and I'm like 5 years old at that point, and they're like giving me a hard time because like screw you, like that's Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Fun town, huh?
I mean, I'm from Detroit, so I can identify.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, that's probably pretty similar.
It's not a lot different, no.
Yeah.
The only thing in common probably was that, well, one of the things in common is we probably all went to Cedar Point during the summer.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah.
So foreign to me.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, that's my happy place.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would go there now. Like, I'm too concerned about dying. But it was so fun. And I used to work at this Bob Evans that was on the highway that led to Cedar Point.
Oh,
and it was
man.
just packs of revelers headed that way every morning.
There
I
you
miss
go.
Bob Evans.
Yeah, it was
that's
a very good restaurant chain.
Yeah.
Down on the farm,
I
man.
miss Shoney's.
Yeah.
That was my day, like my hungover day.
Shoney's?
When I was young,
Yeah.
we'd go to Shoney's. A lot of sodium to be had, you know, just like.
We had a local version of Shoney's called Big Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
remember
Big Boy.
Big
Did they have
Boy,
those?
yeah.
Were they national?
Yeah, in fact, out in Wentzville or Wright City, there's a big boy.
Ow!
Like 30 feet tall, laying on his back.
Do they still serve the Big Boy burgers?
No, he's just dead.
Oh, he's just there.
Yeah.
He's just laying there.
He's just there.
Oh, dang it.
So who are you in high school?
Oh, wow. That is a question I did
Yeah.
not anticipate.
You never know.
Yeah. I guess I was a dork. Like I was smart and I was like, I used to star in the plays. And then I ran cross country, so I had my little ponytail coming out of my hat. I don't know.
You had it all.
I did. You know what? I didn't party at all because my dad taught at my high school.
Oh.
And he was very strict, so I could get away with nothing. Like I was one of these kids who went to college and just like, well, I'm going crazy
Yeah,
because
like
I did nothing up until that point.
Where'd you go to college?
It's called the College of Worcester. It's this little liberal arts college in the middle of a cornfield.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
was. There were like 1,600 kids. We had the best time. Like we'd have dinner at our professors' houses, and we all knew each other. And you know, we'd have these little seminars where there were like 15 of us arguing about political theory. Like it was just the best.
That's a lot like a movie.
Yeah, it really was.
Did you know pretty early on you wanted to do some sort of journalism?
No, I had no idea. So I was like typical kid, goes off to college, thinks like, I don't know, what am I going to do with my life? I'll just go to this liberal arts college and maybe I'll like study poli-sci and like learn about government. And of course, they try to push you towards pre-law because that's where there's jobs. And the problem for my life, like the terrible turn in the road I made, is that I started writing stories for the campus newspaper. They did not have a journalism program, but they were desperately in need of people who wanted to write for this newspaper. And it was just so fun. I just had the best time. I found all my people. everybody was just sarcastic and rude and funny. And we would just sit around there till 3 a.m, like writing nasty stuff about the other people on campus. And yeah, that I was like, I don't want to pay for law school. I want someone to pay me to do this.
Yeah.
And that's where I took the wrong turn in life.
I love that.
Yeah.
When I was a lawyer, I was at a firm for about 3 years, and we had a review, and they called me in, and they basically said, we would have fired you 3 years ago because you don't seem to know much about the law. But they were a big enough law firm. They had a newspaper called Dicta, which is a legal term, and I had an underground newspaper called Big Dicta. And it was like... just like The Onion.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And they literally kept me employed for 3 years because they didn't want to lose my newspaper.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. See, that was like your destiny was in front of you. You just had to take the detour.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. And mine was in front of me. I just didn't know that it would become this route to like the world's rockiest profession by the year 2025.
That's so
you
true.
know?
Yeah. So let's come up to present day.
Yeah.
Let's start at RFT and
Yeah.
just kind of talk about like that transition that you've recently made.
Yeah, so I was at the Riverfront Times when it unceremoniously folded, and I'd been working for their corporate office, working with the RFT and some of their sister papers, and the company just ran out of money. Like, people were very upset. How dare he shut this paper down? I don't think he had a choice. He couldn't make payroll. You know, it's just very obvious. It was all over. And so I found myself, for the first time in my life, here I am in my mid-40s, like completely unemployed, have no idea what I want to do. And I ended up having a meeting with the guy who owns St. Louis Magazine, and he and I had met before and hit it off. And he was like, yeah, I'd like to find a way to work together. Like, what could you do? And I'm thinking, I don't know. Like, I don't want to write for a magazine really at this point. I want to do news. He's like, we could do news. We could start a daily newsletter. I was like, that sounds fun. That sounds like something I would read. That sounds like the people in my life would read. Like, I feel like the news has become so fractured. If you're interested in local news, you have to check like 8 different websites, and you're toggling between what you guys are doing on the radio with, can you catch the broadcast on public radio? People don't have enough time to piece all these things together. And social media used to put news in front of us. Now they don't anymore. So you kind of have to curate your own news feed. But then it's all this AI slop. I thought, okay, I'm going to curate this thing that comes into your inbox every morning and has all the things I think are important and interesting in a given day in St. Louis. That's a really interesting challenge. And they gave us the backing to do it.
Rach, you're a giant fan, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really do read it every morning. And like Sarah said, it's just a great way to start the day and just have like a taste of what's going on in the St. Louis area. I love your work. I love Ryan Kroll's reporting. You guys do a really incredible job.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, let's take the 30,000-foot view, because your business and my business are both on the death list, right? Everyone just talks about radio's dying and print's been dead, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't say that about cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers have been here for 100 years. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's really changing, or is it just more whammy?
I think there's going to be a giant shaking out. But what I'm hopeful is when things shake out, that things that are quality, that give people information that is true and that are entertaining and have a sense of delight and whimsy, which I think you're doing, I'm trying hard to do every morning in this newsletter format, those things are going to survive. I think the American newspaper made a huge mistake in that it got so self-serious. If you read your average daily newspaper in America versus the ones they were putting out in Canada and Great Britain, the ones in America were written with this 4th grade reading level. They were so boring, and they were like, it's our job to be the paper of record, so we're going to cover all this really boring stuff. They never really explained why it mattered, why it was interesting. They never gave you a sense of that life was funny, which life is funny. And I think all that's going to go away. People don't have time for that anymore. But with all the slop that is out there, people are sick of like stuff that has been written by a bot. They want something that's true. And my hope is that people that are doing what you guys are doing here, where you have humans out there gathering news and then you're bringing insight, that there's always going to be a place for that. Yeah. And if we can just get some of this slop to go out of business, maybe there will be more attention paid to the good things that are happening.
I agree. I say it to these guys on the show all the time that it's just one person, but I've had an unexpectedly visceral response to AI content. I just, right? There's just something,
I hate it.
Kind of makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
It's not even a taste thing. It's just like I said yesterday, that anthropologist I was reading one time said that humans just don't put up with other species that look like us, like we're just going to kill them. And like AI is kind of like that. It's like, well, I recognize you, but you're not one of me.
Yeah. And if there's going to be just this kind of like long-winded, like I'm going to say what I think you want to hear, but say it in this really tedious way, I just don't get how that is going to serve people's needs. It may seem palatable and sort of pleasant in the short run, but that gets so boring so quickly. You want some wit, and there is no wit in that AI typewriting.
Wow, that's that's really great. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, can AI be genuinely and organically and originally funny?
I don't think it can. Have you seen any AI writing that is? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it.
Just the stuff they get wrong that's hilariously bad.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both Sarah and I have had a part to play in this saga with Rennie Knott leaving KSDK. She broke the news, and I had the first interview with them. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit. If you guys have questions for Sarah on the stream, just put them up there, and we will ask her. DGS.
Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. You may know me better as the voice of Bart Simpson. On Simpsons Declassified, we're diving into the mysteries that keep the Simpsons forever young. Have you ever wondered how the Simpsons regularly predicts future events? Who better to ask than the show's creators, performers, and writers, the celebrity guests? Be sure to follow and listen to Simpsons Declassified wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
This special alert is for all Americans who own a vehicle. If you have a warranty that's about to expire or no warranty coverage at all, this message is for you. It's time to stop worrying about future car repairs today. Your vehicle is essential, but unexpected breakdowns can derail your plans and your wallet. It's time to future-proof your ride with CarShield. CarShield offers a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that saves drivers thousands from out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Imagine if your engine quits or your transmission fails. You could pay a fraction of the repair cost. This protection plan is at an all-time low, and to give you even more peace of mind, drivers who activate today also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Don't wait for a breakdown to drain your savings. Future-proof your car with CarShield today and drive with confidence. Call CarShield for your free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. My guest is Sarah Finsky. So far we've learned that I'm a South Roxana Hoosier and you're a Cleveland nerd.
Oh, just please don't tell anyone. I really don't want this word to get out.
So let's talk about Rennie. You had the first story out there. Just kind of walk me through, like, I don't even know how a story like that happens. So I'm curious, like, how it happens and then what your take on it is.
Yeah, so I have to be a little careful here because we did have some sources that were tipping us off to stuff. But, Ryan Kroll and I, we write this newsletter together, we just try to have our finger on the pulse of what's going on and what people are talking about. We've ended up covering a lot of different media stories because of that, because nobody else in town is really covering it. We are interested in it. And so when this happened, when KSDK announced to the staff that Rennie was out and they would not take any questions about it, and it was effective immediately, like all those things where you go, whoa, what happened here? We heard about it within like an hour of that meeting. And so we immediately were like, okay, we got to try to find out what has happened here. There's a number of options. I think all of our minds go to different things, but we're like, okay, let's get confirmation that this actually happened. So we found multiple sources who said, yeah, this was told to the staff. Nobody has any idea why. At that point, I reached out to Rennie. He didn't want to talk. Totally understand. We just wrote a story saying KSDK has announced this to the staff. They haven't said anything publicly. Well, from there, as often happens, you end up hearing from a lot more sources, and people are willing to tell you more now that the news is out there. And we started sort of piecing together. We were hearing some things that, frankly, were very surprising. I didn't know Rennie well at all, but I knew that he had a great reputation in the community. Our interactions online had always been very positive. And we were hearing that, no, they pushed him out. They wanted him to resign. He made remarks that made people very anxious. They were worried that it seemed to be like he was talking a lot about violence. And, he said something about maybe bringing an AK-47. Rennie not? Are you kidding? It just never in a million years would I have thought that's what it was. And as we continued to look into it, it became very clear everything our sources were saying were confirmed by multiple people that this is what happened. So at that point, I reached out to him again and said, this is what we're hearing. Do you want to talk? And I have to give Rennie a ton of credit. He said, yes, I will talk to you today. We set up a time. And I began the conversation by saying, okay, we can talk off the record. We can talk on the record. Let's just be so clear about which is which. He said, I'm going to only talk to you on the record. I was like, whoa. And he just confirmed everything that we'd been hearing from our sources. And that was one of the bigger surprises in my journalism career, that he was willing to do that. I think my sense is that he wanted to get it out there. He knew there were a lot of questions circling, and that he genuinely felt that he had done nothing wrong. So he felt like he had nothing to hide. And at that point, I felt like I had a story. So we wrote it up and published, and obviously there's a ton of interest from St. Louis in this story. People do really love this man.
So first, a point of parliamentary procedure that I've just never understood in journalism. Sure. When you have a source, let's say that it was me.
Sure.
And Kevin was talking to you, but he said, I don't want Dave to know.
Okay.
When can you quote someone and say, like, look, this is from a source without naming them?
So different publications have different rules and different policies about this. At St. Louis Magazine, where I've been sort of leading the news side here for a year and a half, I guess, I brought the policy that I have had with me in my career that I just personally have decided I'm comfortable with, which is if we're using unnamed sources, we have to know exactly who they are. We have to know that they know what they're talking about. We have to understand what their biases are in this situation. And if there's not a clear way to convey the bias, the potential bias to the reader, then we shouldn't share it. So if the sources within the newsroom at KSDK had said, hey, I'm going to tell you this, but you can't say who I am. You can only describe me as a person close to this situation. Those are sources I wouldn't have used, because at that point it could be lawyers for the company. It could be friends of somebody who's not directly related. It should be clear to the reader what the perspective is. And what the perspective of all these sources is they were coworkers. They were people who had witnessed these things, had heard other people talking about them, had been exchanging texts with colleagues about them. It was very clear everybody in the newsroom was sort of on the same page with this. So at that point, I was like, is the newsroom perspective valuable in this story where Rennie's talking about, here's my conversation with HR? I felt that it was. I felt it was good for the reader to understand, here is the perspective of multiple people in the newsroom. The main points they agree on are this. And that was a decision I had to make as the editor, and did.
That's a great explanation. So I thought the most important question I asked Rennie in my interview was, and I kind of set it up like, hey, we all know, like, if you're confronted with something, maybe you go, oh, right. I said this thing to Mitch. over a birthday cake for Mike Bush, and the joke didn't land? Or do you really not know what they're talking about? And Rennie answered like, no, I really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Did you get that same sense, or was he a little more forthcoming with you?
No, he seemed to say he didn't understand how anybody could have thought that he said anything about an AK-47 unless he was talking about a story about like, criminals committing violence. I was like, are you sure? Because I said, this is something HR confronted you about, right? And he confirmed this was something HR confronted him about. The one thing that he did have somewhat of an explanation on, where I could see that maybe two people could look at a same conversation differently. People had reported to HR that he made conversation about he might be suffering from CTE, which of course he's a former football player, very much a thing that can be a problem. And he said, yeah, I did say that. He said, but I said it in the context of, I might be suffering from dementia, or I could deal with dementia down the road. And I was like, okay, I could see how two people could have the same conversation, and maybe one comes away alarmed thinking he's talking about violence. He's only talking about dementia. Everything else about this, I'm like, how do these two things align? Rennie's perception versus the newsroom perception. There did not seem to be much overlap.
Yeah. Well, excellent work. Really nice to have met you. Thank you for the article you did on me. I'm really happy with that. I'm never happy with it. You know why I'm never happy with it? Because they actually quote me. And I go, what a dumbass. You did it again.
Yeah.
That's Sarah Finsky from St. Louis Magazine. We'll stay in touch. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
So I remember it was the day after Christmas when Nick was about 15 years old, and he woke me up at about 2 in the morning. My stomach hurts. Let's take some Pepto-Bismol. A couple hours later, my stomach still hurts. We went to the ER. He had an appendicitis, had to have surgery. And at that moment, everything stopped. Nothing mattered to me at all other than my child was, in need of surgery. The simplest kind of surgery, nothing like orthopedic, but still let your child going under general anesthetic. So if your child should go down during a soccer game and be unconsolably crying because they may have ripped an ACL or an MCL, or it could be you. If you need a really great orthopedic surgeon who's also a really great person, which matters, if you haven't met a surgeon that doesn't have the God complex, you need to meet more surgeons because it's pretty prevalent out there. Corey's very cool. A little bit of a goofball even. He's like a funny, affable guy. He's going to make you feel comfortable. Not a goofball in the OR. Really, really great surgeon. He is with the Midwest Orthopedic and Spine Specialist. You can call him at 636-231-5881 or Solman, that's SOLMAN, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Dave Murray's forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Chances are you have a lot of people who depend on you, your family, maybe even employees. Life insurance from Penn Mutual can provide you peace of mind and protect the most important people in your life. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL.
Sunshine and deep blue skies across St. Louis going through our Wednesday afternoon as our days get shorter and shorter. It's breezy this afternoon, not quite as windy as we have been, but winds will be in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. 64 for the high. Tonight, clear skies and cold. 50s for evening plans, 43 for the low. Thursday, sunny and 66. Friday, increasing clouds, 60. That's it for the high, so mainly in the 50s. Periods of rain and chilly fall temperatures. St. Louis south, Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Been telling you guys about this new bistro case in the Schnucks Deli department, but it is so nice. Let's say you're annoyed with having to figure out what's for dinner at the end of a busy day. We've all been there. You just got done with work. You're stressed. You're overwhelmed with your kids' after-school activities, and you just can't do takeout again. Stop by Schnucks. This is exactly why they created their new bistro case. It's filled of unique restaurant-inspired dishes, entrees like blackened salmon, barbecue pulled pork, garlic grilled chicken, flavorful side dishes like Mediterranean green beans, twice baked potatoes, sesame noodle salad. You can even make it a meal by choosing the new Pick 3 plate, which includes your choice of any entree and 2 sides, and that starts at just $9.99. Which, speaking of takeout, that is a whole lot more affordable than your typical takeout order. It's great any time of day, so keep them in mind for lunch or dinner. And next time you're at Schnucks, stop by the bistro case in the deli department and ask a teammate for a sample.
It's easy to feel apprehensive about getting screened for cancer or to just keep putting it off. But Siteman Cancer Center wants to remind you how important it is, especially after the age of 40, and they also want you to know how easy it is to get it done. GetScreenedNow.com has all the information you need on cancers like prostate, breast, colon, lung cancer. You can also find out your risk of disease by answering just a few simple questions, and then you can find one of the hundreds of screening locations in the area. Even if you're a little farther out, there is probably a place near you. You have heard this before, but catching cancer early dramatically increases the odds of a successful treatment, especially with so many cancers showing up earlier in life. So do not be intimidated. Siteman will make the process as simple as possible. GetScreenedNow.com. Do it for your family and friends who count on you. Do it for yourself. Visit GetScreenedNow.com.
This is Todd Krenz with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. We work closely with professionals in healthcare, from doctors and nurses to medical sales in biotech and pharma. Our team helps you navigate complex financial decisions like retirement plans, disability insurance, consolidating old 401ks, and understanding stock options or RSUs. We make the process clear so you can focus on what you do best. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Krenz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Are you an HR manager, business owner, or leader looking to retain your best people? Nearly 1 in 4 employees is caring for an aging loved one, a challenge that often leads to distraction, absenteeism, and costly turnover. The CARES program from Age Smart Community Resources connects your employees to expert caregiver support, helping them stay focused and productive at work. Discover how CARES can boost retention, improve ROI, and cut costs for your business. Visit hsmart.org or call 618-222-2561. Proudly serving 7 counties in Southwest Illinois.
Dave Glover, celebrating 25 years.
Hey Dave, happy 25th. It's George Mahey, proud senior member of the DGS. Hey, my message is simple. Keep doing what you're doing because you're the best in the business.
Sponsored by BioBalance Health and BioBalance Skin.
This is the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you enjoyed Sarah Finsky. Thought that was a really great interview. She's really cool. In case you're wondering, she's really cool. Mark Cantor, my client who has Cantor Injury Law, comes in about once a month. He's in with us today. And first and foremost, condolences. I know you literally buried your dog this morning. We are all animal lovers. I cried harder when we put Augie down a couple years ago than I did for my mom and dad's funeral. Right. I mean, it's just
brutal.
Dogs are just pure joy.
Right.
Yeah.
The dogs. This dog was Cash Cantor. It was my son's childhood dog, and just the sweetest, most loyal, kind, protective dog you could imagine.
Yeah.
So really, really hard. He drove in from Mizzou last night so we could spend the last night with Cash, and
that's so rough. Yeah. So rough.
Well, thank you for that, and congratulations to you on 25 years. Most people don't have a run like that,
no.
and to do that right here in St. Louis on radio is amazing.
Yeah, I really I can't overstate how much it meant to me. I'm one of those narcissists who's obsessed with their funeral, and people are going to say good things or bad things. And like I told you on the break, it was like having your funeral but being alive. And I realize how rare that is and how lucky I am. So
Yeah, congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
And you've got 31 years in your profession.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And early on, you were on the other side.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so one change of the career is great.
Right. Yeah.
So most people change careers a few times.
Yeah, my legal career really was interesting. It wasn't very successful, but I started on the defense side and then about halfway through switched over and did some plaintiff's work. And it really is enlightening to see both sides. And what we talk about and what I talk about in my live endorsements of you is so completely true that when I was at the big defense firm, when we would get a demand letter or a lawsuit, the first thing you do is go to the back page and see who the plaintiff's attorney is. And with all due respect to the plaintiff's bar, there's most of them that you kind of go, whew, that's a breath of fresh air. That's a relief. We're going to be okay. But when you see like the real guys like yourself, that's when you go, okay, first of all, we got to put our best senior associate on it and our best partner and spend a couple $100,000 to defend this suit. So it's a real thing.
Right. And insurance companies know too. They rate the lawyers.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's review systems, and most lawyers never file a suit or go to trial.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, you know, there's a few litigators out there. There's many in our market that are advertising here that aren't really from here. They're from elsewhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel bad if a client gets a lawyer that, you know, doesn't know where the courthouse is. But you can't tell that from an advertisement.
No, and
So-
it's so important, especially in this big, small town of St. Louis, to know the judges, to know your opposing counsel, to know the court clerks. It's
Right.
important.
And to know the local laws and procedures.
Yeah.
And you know, they change. It's hard to keep track of what each county and each city and local rules. And so you really have to have boots on the ground to be a smart, good lawyer. There are lots of smart lawyers, but they're not here.
Yeah.
You know, and they've got smart advertising campaigns. But again, they're not here. Cantor Injury Law is boots on the ground. I'm very proud of the fact that we'll file a lawsuit, we'll go to trial for our clients, and we won't let them get cheated by the insurance companies. And that's what this is all about. At the end, you know, you said I came from the farm. I love farm work because you get to see what you've done. You get to see the work. But in law, at the end of the day, you're measured by how well you did for your client. And usually in personal injury cases, that's a check. And so that's the way to measure the quality of your lawyer. And if you settle everything, you know, for a long time, it was "Don't settle for less" was our slogan. And then it was "Get the big bucks," which, you know, was tongue in cheek to the farm. And I'm a hunter. And now it's "You can count on Cantor," because you can count on Cantor that we won't sell you out.
So I know, amongst other things, you want to talk about DWIs today. So let's do that.
Sure. I mean, you know, DWIs, driving while intoxicated, the criminal standard is you can't obviously have 0.08 alcohol or higher. If you're a commercial driver, it's 0.04.
Didn't know that.
And obviously, if you're under 21, it's zero tolerance, which is written in the
Didn't
law.
know that either.
It's, well, you can't drink if you're under
Yeah,
21.
that
You
makes
can't have any
sense.
alcohol.
Yeah.
So the law is written 0.02, but that's like mouthwash, you know, like don't drink and drive. But I'm a personal injury lawyer, so we're not dealing with the criminal realm of that. We're dealing with the negligence, and negligence is, you know, what driving like a very careful person. That degree of care that a very careful person would use under the same or similar circumstance. That's negligence. So you cannot drive a vehicle, in my opinion, with any alcohol in you and not be negligent. If you're drinking, you're not using that highest degree of care. So for us, the DWIs are important because if you're convicted of a DWI, that is the criminal standard beyond a reasonable doubt. Whereas in civil law, we're proving things by a preponderance of the evidence, more likely than not 51%. So if there's 100 pieces of paper, you prove it by 51 pieces, you win. So we get to introduce that criminal conviction in our civil case. And so, okay, great, you know, you win the case, but it's more than that. Because now we can show that it was willful, wanton, and reckless. And that's what, those are magic words in Missouri law, and you're nodding your head. Your audience doesn't. Right. And so that's punitive damages. We want to punish that bad actor. Normally, you don't get money for, you know, people think, hey, Cantor, you know, you got this huge verdict. Was that a punishment? No, that's compensatory most of the time, meaning it's just putting them back where they were. You had a life care plan, and this is what it's going to cost to take this person through their life. But punitive damages are to punish, and that's the way you get these massive verdicts. So DWIs are, the criminal element is up to the prosecutors. And as a personal injury lawyer, we take that evidence and we apply it to the injury case.
So I have a selfish question for you. I don't know if you know this, but about a month ago, I was rear-ended on 40 by a car going about 40, 50 miles an hour, just slammed right into the back of my Jeep, $15,000 of damage. And the way it is shaken out, I didn't tell you guys this yet. She gave an insurance identification to me and the cops, and through Progressive, and they did their investigation. And just yesterday I talked to them, and they said, here's the thing. The VIN number that we have, we insure that car, but it's not the car this lady was in. And we think that she just committed fraud. Her friend was arrested on 5 warrants at the time, no license plates in the car, just, kind of get the picture. If that, I'm fine, no injuries, thank God. But if I had been injured by someone who's just out there recklessly, no insurance and the whole thing, other than using your own insurance, can you go after them? Is it ever worth going after them? Can you get them in trouble?
Well, first, for your listeners, in Missouri, every insurance policy carries something called uninsured motorist coverage. And that's, by law, a minimum of $25,000. And that's for your injury. It's not for your property. So the first, and you had that in your question, other than your own insurance. Well, you start with, first of all, you start with the defendant's insurance and say, hey, is it really fraud? This is the car that hit me and it had insurance, and the insurance goes with that vehicle. And so, insurance companies are in the business of accepting premiums and not paying benefits. So, I don't accept first that claim. That's on them, but, and there's not much you can do there, but you want to push on that. And then second, if this person has criminal problems and all those other things, they're not going to have, 2 nickels to rub together. And so you can sue them. But most lawyers on a contingency fee aren't excited about that because you're never going to recover. You're not, if I win $1 million, well, you said you weren't injured, but if I won your $15,000 back, what are we going to do with that piece of paper that says Dave Glover's owed $15,000? It's very hard to collect money from an individual. So that's why at Cantor Injury Law, we're looking at every policy of insurance. We're looking at the underinsured motorist coverage, uninsured motorist coverage, your own umbrella limits. We're looking at stacking policies, which is the idea that that you may have more than one vehicle with the same insurer, and you can add those insurances up to recover.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm glad you're okay, but there's not much to do there outside of insurance.
Yeah, just one of those things in life where you're just like, well, that sucked.
Right.
You just got to move on. Only a couple minutes left here, but let's talk about ATVs and golf carts, since so many people now are driving golf carts on the road in their neighborhoods.
Right. Well, first of all, great question. Thank you. Halloween is coming up, so a lot of people are going to be driving golf carts and ATVs. And, think about this. Their golf cart doesn't have a seatbelt. Sometimes they got 4 seats on them. They got open sides. They have a loose roof structure. And people think that they're, on a golf course and they're drinking, and there's other ways to be intoxicated. They're smoking, they're high, they're doing all sorts of stupid things, and they're riding these golf carts around. I've seen tremendous injuries from golf carts, everything from cars hitting them to, we had a big case where a golf cart had the people in the back seat, and it basically backed into a truck and crushed this person's leg.
Jeez.
And so then you're saying, what insurance covers it? And that's a tricky question. Sometimes homeowners insurance covers it. Sometimes your auto insurance covers it. It depends on where it happens. We want to look at every type of policy. But mostly we want to, drive those things with the highest degree of care, just like you're driving a car. And they're much less safe. So I have, 7 or 8 ATVs at Cantorland, the retreat center of Cantor Injury Law. They're great, but we got to do dangerous things in a safe way. So that means you've got to use that highest degree of care. So golf carts, Halloween, let's be safe out there.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Information on it is cantorinjurylaw.com.
That's right. It's that's it. And it's 628-9999 right here in St. Louis. So it's area code 314. You see our billboards, you hear us on the radio. We're on TV, and we're local boots on the ground, and you can count on Cantor. I love coming on this show, so I can talk about my law firm. We've got over 30 people, and we're all from here, and this is all we do all the time.
Yeah.
So I hope that.
We love having you on, and again, condolences on Cash. It's a big loss.
Thank you very much for
You're
that.
welcome.
KMOX proudly supports the Musial Awards, returning to Stiefel Theater Saturday, November 22nd. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event, hosted right here in St. Louis. Named for Stan the Man, the show celebrates the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those who embody class and character. Experience the extraordinary moments and people that make the Musial Awards an event like no other. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129. Take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com and take advantage of the huge savings.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is... me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When the time comes, and you will know when the time comes because you're smart, that you need an exterior company, you have some damage on your roof, or your siding blows off, or your gutters are just toast, or you want to put up a fence or change your fence or repair a fence, know that you have access to my guys, Triton Exteriors. The owner's name is Tim. You can call, you can ask for Tim, say you're from the DGS. He'll get on the phone with you. Chances are he'll come out to your home or place of business that day. Get a plan together, give you a bid, encourage you if you want to get another bid or two to do that, because their secret is that the more bids you get, the better they look. Now, they're typically not going to be the lowest bid because someone out there is going to cut corners. They're almost never the highest bid, because this one thing that Tim said was very disappointing to him when he got into the exteriors business in St. Louis, how many companies he competes with are just sort of not very honest. And if it's a $30,000 job, they'll bid $55,000, and a lot of times they'll get it because their name is known. Call 314-717-1159 or Triton-STL.com.
For 25 years, the Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive has been a dependable resource for impoverished men, women, and children in the bi-state. Together Credit Union is proud to team up with the Kurt Warner First Things First Foundation and Operation Food Search for the 25th Annual Warner's Warm-Up Coat Drive. From October 20th to November 2nd, new and gently used winter clothes of all sizes will be collected at all 14 Together Credit Union locations to help keep our neighbors warm during the cold winter months. For more information and a full list of donation locations, visit kurtwarner.org.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
$250 DGS. Happy Wednesday. I hate that anytime I talk about politics, I have to do a preamble about, like, it's not just because I don't like Trump. But this thing going on with his $230 million that he's going to get from the DOJ for damages, when he was investigated and charged for federal crimes by the Biden DOJ. There are three people that have to sign off on this. One is Todd Blanche, who was his attorney during these cases. The other is a guy named Woodward, who represented his co-defendant, if you remember, was his valet, who had some shenanigans with moving the boxes of documents around and stuff like that, and Donald Trump himself. So being a lawyer and having that hammered into my head in law school, and by all of the ethics classes you had to take, avoid even the appearance of impropriety. You have to be squeaky clean. Just no one can ever question your ethics. In this case, the president of the United States probably will get a payout around $250 million. He says he'll give it to charity. We'll see. But it's still going to come out of our coffers. Make no mistake, that's our money, tax dollar money. And his attorney and his co-defendant's attorney and he have to sign off.
It's fine.
Just crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, literally, that's like going to every adult in the country and saying, these other people, they did a bad thing, so now you owe me $1.
Pretty much.
Every grown person in the United States owes me $1 because these other people did something that we say was wrong. And it's fine. I mean, again, make that case, make that argument, pursue punishment for them. Why do I need to pay you? Why do the taxpayers need to pay you? Why do taxpayers need to pay you while federal workers have to be in lines at food banks because you guys have all shut at all? I'm not picking one part or the other because you all have shut down the government. How about this? You get that money and give it to the people that are losing money and give it to the people so we can give them back pay too, because now they're talking about fighting that. Like, oh, they don't get back pay. Wait a minute. What do you mean they don't get back pay? You guys did all this. You're all still getting paid. And by you all, I mean everybody who's holding office. They're all still getting paid, still have their benefits. If we take that's this thing. If you take that money and you do something with it that helps the American people, great. Good for you. If it just goes to you, well, then no. I mean, why do you get my money because some person I've never met did something wrong?
You're always logical.
Well, doesn't work for me very much. Everybody likes to be making these decisions based on their emotions and not on just common sense. Like, again, think about it. Should you have to give money to the person who's already super rich, B, in the most powerful position in the world at this point? Should I have to give them money because they said someone else did something wrong?
It is tough when it's like, I am a huge victim here. And it's like, well, you're also leader of the free world. That comes with a lot of benefits, a lot of ways.
Also, it is requiring no proof that he was wrongfully prosecuted.
Well, that's the really critical thing here, right? Because what it's going to be is a settlement, and the people you mentioned that have to sign off on the settlement are the president and his two lawyers, or his lawyer and the lawyer of his co-defendant. Like, that's why there's no check and balance there. There's no, like, if you went to court and this all got played out,
yes,
and the case is proven and a jury of American citizens said,
I agree.
Hey, here's $200 million of our dollars. All right, I don't agree with those citizens, but that's the process.
I agree.
But it's going to skip all that. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. It's going to be a settlement. It's going to be, here's a check, buddy. And even if you prove wrongdoing, that's great. Then punish those people that did the wrong thing. Don't take from the people you say you care about. That's what you're doing. You say you care about the American people. You care, but you're going to take their money because someone else did something you said was wrong.
Be curious to see how this plays out. Tell you guys about my friends over at Mosby Building Arts. 365 every single day is a good day to call Mosby. They are not going to be the cheapest, but they are going to be the best. They do all sorts of remodeling. They're having a sale right now called the Out of This World sale, but it ends on Halloween. Now, you don't have to have your work done by then, obviously. There's going to be, a backlog. It's going to take about a certain amount of time to get everything, estimated and all the craftsmen out there. But you can do a full basement remodel to your specifications for as little as $5.99 a month. You can get a brand new, beautiful front entry door for as little as $69 a month. Other sales going on every part of your house, inside and out. Again, the sale ends on Halloween. Just go to callmosby.com.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Cardinals season may be over, but in St. Louis, sports never stop. The Chiefs are chasing another championship. Mizzou football is making noise, and the Blues are back on the ice. Every weekday at 5, Rush Hour Sports keeps you ahead of the game with news, traffic, weather, and the biggest stories in sports. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz, 3 trusted voices St. Louis fans count on. Rush Hour Sports, weekdays at 5 on KMOX. This is the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got sunshine. It is 63 degrees downtown at the Arch, and we begin.
KMOX is covering breaking news.
We're getting word of Afton Fire District responding to a high-angle rescue at the KSDK transmission tower in South County. That's off Hagee Road by Tower T. Afton Fire on a high-angle rescue at the Channel 5 transmission tower. We've got a reporter headed to the scene, and we'll bring you more as it becomes available.
This shelter accommodates easily about 80 dogs, so we have too many.
That was St. Louis County Executive Sam Page yesterday. Hours later,
30 more dogs and a blind pony had to be rescued in Fenton. On Tuesday, ACC had 173 dogs Capacity is 80. Now the shelter has over 200 animals. County Executive Page made another plea to the council for more funding.
To allow us more space for larger kennels, better space for veterinary care.
The council shows no signs of releasing any more money to expand the shelter. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Boeing is accusing the Machinists Union of blocking a vote on a revised contract offer that the company says could end the 12-week-old strike. In a message to striking workers, Boeing detailed its latest offer, which includes thousands of dollars in bonuses and stock. But the union calls the offer disrespectful, saying it has no meaningful improvements and includes a, quote, unacceptable return-to-work agreement that would let managers perform their jobs for 30 days. A major overhaul is in the works for one of St. Louis's postcard buildings.
It's in desperate need of a refurbishment. It's a postcard building. I mean, all the postcards of the Arch have this building in it.
Mansion House, who saw its first residents the year the Arch went up, is set to receive a $195 million redevelopment by St. Louis development firm New and Found. 415 units with a starting rent of $1,100 a month. Leasing expected to take place spring 2027. Steve Smith is the CEO and founder of New and Found.
We're putting our money where our mouth is. We have 150 people work in this building. We're keeping those jobs downtown. We've had people say, why don't you move? We're not moving. So we're committed to downtown.
Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
The San Francisco Giants have a new manager, and it's someone with deep ties to St. Louis.
Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello is a graduate of DeSmet and Mizzou. He also spent some time as an assistant coach at the University of Missouri, but he's been the head coach of the Volunteers since 2018, winning a national title in 2024. He's now reportedly been hired as the new manager of the San Francisco Giants, becoming the first individual to go from coaching college baseball to managing in the big leagues with no professional coaching experience. He also reportedly will be taking a large pay cut. He was one of college baseball's highest paid coaches at over $3 million per year, a number the Giants are not expected to pay him. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports.
Why is the price of beef so high?
It's actually a perfect storm for hitting us in our pocketbooks.
KMOX business analyst, SLU professor Jerome Katz says part of it is lack of grazing lands in the Midwest and multi-year drought. He adds the price of hay for feeding cattle is extremely high, and that has ranchers thinning their herds.
Right now, there are a lot of farmers who are actually putting their heifers up for sale rather than try to pay for them to keep going until they can have calves.
Plus, he says importing beef is harder because of disease concerns and tariffs. From the KMOX Business Desk, sponsored by Krentz Financial Group, KFGadvisors.com, an increasing number of home buyers are getting cold feet.
Redfin reports that more than 53,000 home purchase agreements were canceled in September, up nearly 14% compared to a year ago, and accounting for 15% of the homes that went under contract last month. Once hot real estate markets in the Sun Belt are seeing the biggest rise in cancellations, led by Tampa at more than 20% in September, followed by Atlanta and San Antonio at 19% each. Buyers are having second thoughts due to hopes of getting a better deal on another home, as well as being concerned about job security.
Jason Brooks reports that 70% of the cancellations are occurring during the home inspection process. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index to Stifel's Scott Bedell. Scott.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. It was a profit-taking day across the board as some earnings disappointments, namely by Netflix and Texas Instruments, began the pessimistic day. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 334 points, or 0.7% to 46,590. The Standard & Poor's 500 index dropped 0.5% to 6,699, while the NASDAQ Composite Index slid 0.9% to close at 22,740. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index also down, falling 0.25% to 1,602. Checking some notable St. Louis stocks, Ameren up almost 0.5% at $105.38. Post Holdings gained 1.6% at $108.89. Stifel Financial added just a little less than 4% at $116.69. On the downside, Caleres fell a little less than 4% at $12.28, while Charter Communications slid 3%. They closed at $244.94. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
They've just cleared a crash on 55 South at Imperial, Maine, was on the left side. There's a new crash on 70 East at 270. That's got the right lane closed. And another crash on 44 going west at Elm. That's got the right shoulder blocked there.
All about tons of sunshine on this Wednesday afternoon. Now, it's still breezy. It's not quite as gusty as it has been the last couple of days, but there's still going to be a bit of a wind going through the afternoon. 64 for the high. Tonight, clear skies. Temperatures tumble with the setting sun into the 50s. 43 for the overnight low. Thursday, sunny and 66. 44 Thursday night. Now, Friday, it's a day of increasing clouds. Could be a couple of showers late in the day Friday, and it's cool in the 50s to near 60 degrees for the high Friday. Let's look for periods of rain and chilly fall temperatures for Friday night, Saturday night, especially from the St. Louis area south. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, Plumbing. Right now, 63 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
In the 70s, baseball player Jerry Kelly decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air and Electrical.
And electrical.
JerryKelly.com.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Wednesday. Gorgeous day out there. Dave Murray will be with us in a half an hour. About 3:07. If you're watching me on the stream just now, I had a total episode. You know how sometimes you just kind of go like cross-eyed? And I felt like I was dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I just accepted that I was dreaming, having an on-air dream. Then I'm like, oh, no, you're really on the air.
Time to lock in.
Wake up, Dave. Would have been kind of sweet if I was dreaming, though. Just wake up in my bed like, oh, I have 4 more hours to sleep.
Hey, look at that.
Let's do DJ's Happy Hour. Okay. And I am starting. I got a couple of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the Nobel Prizes in medicine was just given to a couple of guys who figured out that certain mammals can breathe through their butts. And they are working on how humans can breathe through your butt. So, say your lungs are trashed, they can put a tube in your butt, and it goes through the blood vessels in your stomach, and your body absorbs oxygen. And they said they've been able to successfully, there's like a slug or something, you know, the mammal version of a slug that does this. That's how it breathes. And they've been able to replicate it with mice and rats. And now they're going to start some human trials.
Nice.
The mammal version of a slug was my nickname in college.
Oh, my goodness. I don't like that one.
Why did that make us laugh harder?
I don't know why that was so funny.
Oh, because we're boys, that's why.
So, yeah.
All right.
I mean, nice. You want people to be able to breathe through their butts or elsewhere, you know? That's what I'm always saying.
You do say that a lot.
That's what I'm always saying. You know what I've always said?
I have another story.
You know we're in bad shape when one of us goes, you know?
You know what I'm saying, though?
A man was arrested for carrying out penis enlargement surgeries in his 94 Toyota Corolla.
Oh, no.
No medical training. Watched a couple videos. And you'd go meet him somewhere in a back alley or a parking lot, get in the back seat, he'd numb you up, and there you go.
How did he...
I don't know
What's
his...
the process?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What's the
Are
magic?
you just asking for a friend? I'm not sure exactly how he did it. I think the way they do it is with injections, sort of like filler in your cheek.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so he, sort of like the Brazilian butt lifts, right? But he's doing it for the boys.
I held my bro out, get in the back of the Toyota Corolla.
If you signed up for some procedure like that and you show up for your procedure,
and I'm not sure you're signing up anything,
and the guy says, "Okay, we're going to do this in my car," wouldn't you just like, no, thank you, bye?
Dude, the Groupon didn't say anything about a car.
I mean, like,
yeah, I'm not sure you're calling the office to make an appointment, and then
who's
she's like,
yeah,
he'll be
I
on
totally,
3rd Street.
I totally trust the guy that's doing injections into wieners in the back of a car. That guy's super trustworthy. I'll give him my money.
Was this here?
No, it was in Thailand.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
It's still, it's a little less crazy.
Why gotta be like that to the ties?
Well, I'm not being like that to the ties. I'm just
Just like
saying
anything goes
they
in
have
Thailand,
looser they have looser, laws over there towards stuff like
Do
this.
they have laws?
Well, I mean, this guy
Well,
got
yes.
arrested.
They have.
Oh, he got arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I mean, like,
There's a video of it.
It's easier to get away with
And there's
this.
a guy in the back of his car
That's
who's sort of
really
like,
He's like,
oh,
ha
he's only halfway through.
yeah, he's not finished
We
yet.
gotta get the left side.
Yeah, the guy in the car is like,
You really question whether you're saying something dirty there, didn't you?
Rachel's like, I'm just gonna fade that one down.
the guy,
Turning my own mic off halfway through the sentence.
the guy in the car is like, officer, can you come back in like 20 minutes? I already paid him.
Man,
Yes.
you're in a low place if you're just like, here, back of the car, fine.
Well, Phoebe said that it's a huge business in Lawrence, Kansas, of mostly women doing Botox in their basements, like unlicensed.
Yeah,
That's
don't do that.
pretty terrible, but I'd probably feel better about a basement than the back of a car.
I agree with that. But, I mean, you can get really sick from
Yeah.
the unlicensed Botox stuff. You don't know what's in it. Like,
Yeah.
Just go to the med spa.
I had a joke about this once that did not land. I was meeting with a new client who was a chiropractor, but also did penis enlargements. So I'm with him and his marketing person and Craig Lombardi, my sales guy, and a couple other their office staff. So he's describing in great detail this procedure, which he he was very proud of. And he gets finished, and I say, do you have anything that makes it smaller? It's funny, right?
That's really funny.
Good one. That's classic Dave right there.
Nobody laughed.
Oh. How do you not laugh at that?
I
That's
don't know.
hilarious.
I thought it was empirically funny.
That's like scientifically funny. Like if you just like ask ChatGPT, is that funny? It would be like, yes, that's the most hilarious joke I've ever heard.
I was like, so anyway.
Could you get it, guys? Because, you start to explain it.
Anyone else got a happy hour?
I've got one.
Okay.
We're still talking about that darn Cracker Barrel logo. Even though they decided to revert back to, the original logo with the beloved Uncle Herschel. We all know Uncle Herschel.
Yeah,
And
we
when
do.
he disappeared, we all did freak out.
We did.
Yes.
I didn't.
Well,
I did.
they took Uncle Herschel away, then they put him back. Well, the CEO of Cracker Barrel, her name is Julie Fells-Massino. She has defended the decision to remove Uncle Herschel initially by saying, look, this had nothing to do with politics. It was for the sake of the highway billboards. We wanted people to be able to read Cracker Barrel more clearly when they're whizzing by on the highway. Which just the fact that we have to say we're not trying to politicize Uncle Herschel, like we're in such a terrible place as a country.
Isn't it amazing that CEOs make any money, much less millions?
Yes.
You have to have an MBA to say we want people to be able to read Cracker Barrel more easily, and Uncle Herschel got in the way.
But we're putting Uncle Herschel back.
I don't even believe that. I just believe they wanted to stop being associated with old. I firmly believe that, because who are they losing with? They were losing with people in their 30s and 40s. If you're going to say, hey, we're still the old people place, they're probably you're not going to get that new crowd. The whole idea of what they did, right or wrong, was to try to attract a younger crowd. The renovations, I don't understand how it all becomes something more than that. It's pretty clear that, like, when you look at the demo, well, they don't get very many. And again, I've been going there forever. I've always liked Cracker Barrel, but if your image problem is that problem, why are you a bad weirdo for fixing it?
I've always kind of thought that young people like Cracker Barrel ironically.
Yeah, I mean, I would think if you like Cracker Barrel, you like it because of the old-timey feel. And if you're trying to draw in a young crowd by trying to be like this hotter restaurant, I mean, I'm not sitting around on Friday night going like, should I go to the new Extra Wavy place in Lafayette Square or should I go to Cracker Barrel? Like, it's usually not a decision between those two type of things. So I'm kind of with Wheels on this one.
Yeah, I mean, so I looked some of this up. Like they're almost half of their guests are 55 and older. And I'm not quite there, but I'm a young person for Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
which again
You're the
is
new demo.
what they're trying to change. They're trying to get millennials, Gen Z, families with young kids because that's not who's coming to their place now. But whatever, people get mad.
I don't know. Like in my experience, the Cracker Barrel out at 40 and K was always packed.
I've never seen one that's not crowded.
And even if it's packed with 60-year-olds, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're
Yeah,
packed.
that's
You
fine.
have a very dedicated, loyal audience. Sometimes you just can't be all things to all people.
That's a great.
I mean, like KMOX.
Yes.
We're going after younger people like 45. We have many, like Mitch is a freshman at Mizzou. We have lots of people in their 20s and 30s, but that's not our goal. That's great, and I think DGS brings in more of that than a lot of the other stuff on KMOX. We always have it, even on 97.1. But, like, okay, in radio, the money demo is 25 to 54. That's not a demo. That's a family reunion. What are 25-year-olds consuming that 54-year-olds are consuming also in equal measure? Very little.
Yeah, fast food maybe.
Yeah, very little.
Fast food.
Okay, let's do more of this when we come back. Tell you guys about Michael's Baths. Just got word from Michael through my sales rep that he is happy as a pig and you know what. That the KMOX audience has been great. You guys get it. You understand a value. And with Mike and Michael's Bath, you get a huge value. So I can save you, through Michael, about 50% on a bathroom remodel off of what the national brands are going to charge you. Mike recently had a bid where the national guys bid $24,000 on a bathroom. It was a pretty nice bathroom, and Mike came in at $8,200, not even knowing about that $24,000 bid. When they heard about it, national company, they lowered it to $15,000, which was still almost double where Mike was at. But Mike could show the customer that he has better products. He brought in both. He has better workmen. And you're going to have a better outcome. If you're a disabled veteran, you can get a new bathroom for very little or no money out of your pocket through a VA benefit. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on.
And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett.
It makes a big difference who's actually interpreting the mammogram images that you get. We make sure that we have an expert team of breast radiologists that specialize in reading mammograms to be sure that we can get you the most accurate read possible.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
.322 DGS on KMOX. Jerry and Big Blonde Dan both pointing out that they are 36 and loyal DGS fans. Jerry's been listening since he was 23, and we've known Big Blonde Dan forever, right?
Oh, yeah. He's been tweeting and streaming the
Whatever
whole
happened
time.
to the Plow? Is he still out there?
I don't know.
Do you remember the Plow?
Vaguely.
A longtime listener, great dude, has a job, but every night goes to this special bar and a special golden tea machine and plays it professionally and makes like good money playing golden tea against people around the world. Haven't heard from him in a long time.
Yeah, neither.
Hope he's still out there. Yeah. Wheels got a happy hour?
Sure. Let's see. Which one did I want to do? Well, this is on a couple of. This is, I think, on Rachel's list too. So I'm going to throw it out there. Did you guys see that Travis Kelce is going to save Six Flags?
Yes.
I keep hearing this. What's going on?
So he is part of an investment group that bought like 9 or 10% of the parent company of Six Flags, which also owns Cedar Point, which I did not know. Somehow I missed that. And they're trying to fix up Six Flags, like make it attractive because it's lost a lot of money. I think they lost like $300 million in the final quarter or in the second quarter. They're having major attendance problems for obvious reasons, right? And they're talking about, like, since COVID, they've had a hard time, all of these theme parks and things, because economy's been rougher, it's been up and down, and it's especially hit hard people that are middle class, which is the majority of people that would go to theme parks. And I think we've seen, like, hasn't Disney had some problems too and things along those lines? But you know, when you think about what it costs to go to these places, you got to be money. You got to be nails for it to be worth it, because you're talking what minimum just basic ticket, $50, just basic ticket. I think at the Six Flags, unless you have a special membership, you got to pay to park too, and then you got food. And that's not even counting if you're going to try to do fast passes, because you're not getting on the new rides or the popular rides unless you have one of those. So now you're talking about
$100 a day easy.
Oh, $150 easy per person per day that you go. And season passes are a great value. We used to do it up at the Six Flags in Chicago because we lived 10 minutes from it. So we would go all the time just for a couple hours here and there. But how often do you have that freedom? How many people live close enough to make that practical, to go more than a couple of times a summer?
Wasn't that a dream? Did you guys have that dream?
My cousins had the season pass.
It's good, man.
And I was like, wow. I mean, and we would go to Six Flags together, and they just knew where everything was.
Phoebe has that.
Yeah, and I haven't tracked it. I don't know how many Six Flags, how many new rides do they tend to have at Six Flags?
Got me.
Because I know, like, Cedar Point as an example, they have new, fantastic, like, state-of-the-art things almost every couple of years. Like, they'll take one old one out and put a new thing in, or they'll redo something to make it better. I don't know that it's quite as big of a draw, right? If you go to Six Flags, are you getting the same rides now that you got 10 years ago? Because if that's the case, that makes it harder to sell to people, too.
Barry says, when I was in high school, a season pass was $26.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that bad for a season pass. I think that's actually a good value. I think it's like $100 or something like that.
Jerry says it's more expensive than a Thai Corolla special.
Yeah. But like, again, the $50, that kind of per day, that's just to get in the door.
Yeah.
That's no fast passes. So what you're going to end up doing in a lot of cases is wasting time in lines.
Also, as a guy who's afraid of roller coasters, the last thing I want to do is go to a place that lost $300 million last quarter.
Oh, man. But like, it's like so many other things, though. Like, how do we get people to do this? How do we get people back? You got to have a better product at a better price. And if the price isn't going to go down, the product better be good. And it's like, how many times have we talked about that with fast food and with restaurants? What's the typical complaint from a sports fan? You're going to charge me full price for a bad team, or what's going to draw people back to Busch Stadium? Winning. The better product is going to do that.
Man, the headline for this story really made me laugh, though. Here's the Wall Street Journal headline. Travis Kelce teams up with investor for activist campaign at Six Flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the activist part of
They're
it?
activist investors.
What a strange headline.
Yeah. Does that have a real financial term? Like, does it mean like you're not just out for profit, but that you're trying to do something? Is that what that means?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to look into that more.
A lot of people online were like, this probably is a pretty big issue for him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
it's
point.
a passion project.
Yeah.
And when he grew up,
he's like the Greta Thunberg of the log jam.
So
the
his tie to this is he grew up in Ohio, going to Cedar Point. So he's a huge fan of Cedar Point. So it sounds like that was kind of his his draw into this.
Okay.
He should come to Six Flags St. Louis, and then Taylor Swift can perform.
Yeah.
Old Glory Amphitheater.
There we go.
Let's do it.
Small venues are always the best ones, right?
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Are you an HR manager, business owner, or leader looking to retain your best people? Nearly 1 in 4 employees is caring for an aging loved one, a challenge that often leads to distraction, absenteeism, and costly turnover. The CARES program from Age Smart Community Resources connects your employees to expert caregiver support, helping them stay focused and productive at work. Discover how CARES can boost retention, improve ROI, and cut costs for your business. Visit hsmart.org or call 618-222-2561. Proudly serving 7 counties in Southwest Illinois.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, if you're traveling home on westbound Highway 70 this afternoon, it's just a little busy right around Hanley. After that, it's a little slow at Highway K and a little at 61. Really not bad at all on westbound 70. Westbound 64, that's solid bumper to bumper. Approaching Kings Highway out to Clayton Skinker, it's slow Lindbergh to 270. And then slow 364 out to 70s. 270 both ways from south of Manchester to Olive is heavy. Southbound begins at 364, and then there's slow stuff south of 44 to Gravois, westbound 44, Shrewsbury out toward the Edgar Road overpass, kind of slow because of a crash on the shoulder. They're working a crash eastbound 44, west of 109. A little bit of a jam up there about midway in from Six Flags. Southbound 55, Arsenal to Bates, you've got delays. It's backed up from M most of the way down to Z due to an earlier incident. Illinois highways look pretty good for you so far. I'm Roger Brand in the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, performing live on November 26th at the Stiefel Theater. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Every show is a new experience.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, October 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has brought cheers to their fans for decades with the best styles, cutting-edge tech, and good old family values. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Hey, just check the mail. We've been invited to a seminar and dinner is free.
It's gonna be chicken, and it'll taste like Play-Doh.
Don't be fooled. All seminars are not the same. For example, Steve All, an investment advisor representative and founder of the All Financial Group, will be hosting his Taxes and Retirement Seminar at his office in Chesterfield on October 28th. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will not only cover the hurdles you'll face in retirement, but ways to keep more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. This is a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
You know, hon, I've always been interested in us buying a timeshare.
I'd rather eat Play-Doh.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home. 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Sunday is a doubleheader NFL Sunday on KMOX. First up, the Giants and Eagles.
Siteman Cancer Center game time 11:30. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
Then the Cowboys and Broncos. Sunday on 104.1 FM KMOX. This is the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 334 from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Desk. Dave Murray is here. Hello, Dave.
Oh, it's Beanie Day.
Yeah.
Fall has arrived.
Here's the thing, though, dude. It's like 90 degrees in the studio. You know, like in a big building like this, as soon as the weather turns, they just slam that heat. So, yeah. Wheeler had to go change his shirt. We're going to dinner tonight. The bosses are taking us out to dinner for our 25th anniversary. I think we're all going to have to go home and change. So
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Why did I say that so weird?
I don't know.
I can't do that.
It was really strange.
I just snapped into my own weird character.
It was like if you could play Urkel as a flute or something. That was very strange. So more wonderfulness, Dave?
Yeah, we're going down to 43 tonight. 66 tomorrow. The big deal tomorrow is the winds will be almost non-existent all day long. 41 Thursday night. Friday, a rapid increase in clouds. So a lot of clouds around Friday, but Friday's a dry day. But with the added clouds, it's a chilly day in the 50s to near 60 degrees. There is this cutoff low pressure system that's going to be drifting over the Midwest Friday night and over the weekend. It just doesn't look like it's going to be capable of tapping the Gulf of Mexico, that moisture. So yes, mostly cloudy skies Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, but very limited rain. I'll have some spotty showers during that period, but I just don't see much in the way of rain. Any rain will help the drought. There's no question about that, but it's just not going to be much. Not like the last one.
Yeah, did the last one get us fairly back?
It helped. No, it didn't get us back, but it helped. It was on the average of 1 to 2 inches. Unfortunately, a lot of that was runoff at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of goes away. We need, you know what? You don't see rains like that very often in October. We really have to wait until November. So I'm confident. We'll be okay.
I saw something last night that was really interesting, and I'm not sure if it's really interesting or really stupid. So let me run it by you guys. It was a historian talking about how historians understand a lot about every era. But they said that, 500, 600 years from now, that regular people, not historians, they would understand everything, but regular people, when looking back at 1850 to 2450, would probably just talk about Neil Armstrong going to the moon, and that was it. Like, we don't know, World War III could happen or something crazy, but, if it just kind of stays, normal, even, if we're in space and stuff, that this whole era we're living right now, they'll probably remember one or two things.
Not the internet?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's a fair point, though, because when you kind of compare it to human history, how much do we know about the 1300s?
Or even like 300 BC to 300 AD.
Yeah.
Historians know a lot about it.
Yeah.
But your normal person would be like, Jesus was born,
Yeah. Nothing else.
Thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, Amy has talked about, if you're born, if you're born in 1991, like me, in 50 years, kids are going to think that's the same as being born in 1908. It's
For
the
sure.
1900. It was a different century. So
Yep.
yeah, your mind just watercolors all those things that you weren't there for. So yeah, that makes sense. Moon landing, internet, those are kind of the two big ones. Going to space and connecting everyone on the planet.
Isn't it weird that you're so right, Rach, that being born in the 19s, you're just officially old?
Well, and very little difference in my mind between 1949 and 1969. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
20-year difference. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, they were, I don't
Kinda
know.
the same.
They had auto cars and microwaves were new or something. I don't know.
Headlines, Rach?
Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. So a man has been arrested after crashing his car into a security gate outside the White House while President Donald Trump was inside. It happened late at night. The vehicle was assessed and deemed safe, and the driver was transported to a hospital for a mental health evaluation. Charges are pending that would be unlawful entry and destruction of government property. From the way this is seeming, it doesn't seem like it was anyone out to hurt anyone. It was just an unfortunate thing, but you have to be extremely cautious in that situation.
I would think that'd be really difficult to accidentally run into any part of the White House grounds.
Yeah, I'm surprised you can just drive past it like that. I mean, it just seems like they would have all those roads shut down, to only foot traffic most of the time.
When
but
Phoebe and
don't know.
I were in D.C. a couple summers ago, it was my first time there in a couple decades. And the first thing that came home to me when we got into the Uber to go to our hotel was just oh, I get it. Okay. Because you see, there's the Treasury building and there's the Capitol and there's the Lincoln Memorial. And you're like, oh, that's right. We just think of Washington, D.C. as just something to bitch about. And you forget that all this is really happening and how intimidating and huge it is. And it's just weird. Trump is so freewheeling, with how he speaks. And, this guy's a loser and these idiots over here. And then you see this enormous alabaster building. And you're like, oh, they're the idiots. It's just kind of strange.
Just since we're talking about D.C., it crossed my mind the National Guard being there. I haven't heard anything about that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're there anymore.
They are there.
Okay.
They are still there, Dave. And they could be in the city until summer of 2026, according to military officials. So something to keep in mind if you're planning a trip there. I don't know. It might just feel kind of odd if you're on vacation and that's still going on. Okay.
It is an interesting town, though, because depending on where you are, you see some pretty interesting and cool things. Like the W Hotel is like right across the street from the Treasury and the White House and all that. And if you're up there on their rooftop bar, you can see the snipers on the roof of the White House and stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, the cost of family health insurance has leapfrogged to $27,000 in 2025. That's a 6% increase from the previous year. That sounds absolutely crazy to me.
Healthcare is crazy. Healthcare
It really is.
are insane. Dave, as you get older and older, when you plan your retirement and you think, okay, well, this is maybe what healthcare will cost, double it.
Really?
Double it. It's unbelievable.
My dad is on a certain medication, and first they told him that there would be like a program that could fund it. And he found out yesterday, no, actually, it turns out the program's full, and it's $1,300 per medication.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. They found a couple of samples in the area that they're going to be able to give him to kind of delay it for now until hopefully the funding opens back up.
Yeah.
But healthcare is just, and that's like post-insurance, $1,300.
My big worry is nursing home. And it's just being completely open as I always am. Like I have the genetic marker for Alzheimer's, and it's in my family, and it tends to happen in the early 70s. And my big fear is that I work so hard my whole life and put a nest egg together, but there's no nest egg big enough unless you are a generationally wealthy person that they're not going to take all that. Like my mom is like $11,000 a month, and so for most people, that you're going to be broke pretty quick, certainly within a couple, 3 years. And there's a provision where you can do like the spin down thing where you basically give your money to your kids, kind of committing fraud. But then you have to go be in a Medicaid bed, which are not always the same. It's kind of lesser service. Mm-hmm. So that's my big worry is that do I bankrupt my family eventually, or do I go and have like kind of a half-ass care? That's a terrible thing to have to face. No one should have to face that.
Probably have to do both.
I'm just surprised that we haven't figured this out a little better than we have.
Not to be all doom and gloom, but Amazon is reportedly working towards automating 75% of their entire operations to avoid hiring more than 160,000 humans. So those are jobs that just don't exist.
What is the benefit to us?
About 30 cents saved on each item that Amazon picks, packs, and delivers to customers.
I will pay that 30 and another 30 if they just employ people.
Yeah. One thing that I'm hearing is that, yes, those jobs will disappear, but somebody's got to fix the machines.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of retraining people to say, okay, instead of doing this, you're now going to learn how to do this and fix the machines.
Ideally, the machines would be easy to fix. This is a conversation that I had really far in depth with an old boss of ours years ago, if you'll remember. I didn't like the idea that they were theoretically getting rid of people flipping burgers in favor of machines flipping them. And he was like, well, someone's got to program the machines. Someone's got to fix the machines. And I said, the problem is that is a job that would most likely require a college education, a college degree. I think it's a very bad idea to remove low education, low skill ceiling jobs like flipping burgers and replace them with computer programmers, because the people who are flipping burgers generally don't have the ability or the access to something like a computer programming degree or a college education. And so I think it is a very bad idea to get rid of those jobs. I think that will massively increase the unemployment rate.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because how do the numbers work? Could one person be the machine fixer for 5 different places? Well, that's, maybe 10 employees lost, one person replacing that. Mm-hmm. If I'm a company, I'll take that, but obviously.
Jerry online says that's what I teach. Machining and robotics, it's one big booming industry right now.
Good to know.
Good to know.
That's where What's the movie where it's like the future's in plastic, sons?
Right.
No, the future is in fixing things. The
Graduate.
Now, yeah.
The Graduate.
Yeah, okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. The real is the future is in fixing things.
To be fair, though, the future when that movie came out was like 1990.
No, it was like 75.
Yeah, I was going to say the future was like literally looking ahead to the 70s.
The future was.
The future,
yes,
in 1975, the future was like 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Plastic Sun.
Someone said this on TikTok that if in Back to the Future, Marty McFly had gone from 2025 to 1985, he'd have never gone back.
This is great.
I mean, yeah, 1985 is pretty sweet, man. I'd be like, I'm staying.
The next movie would be Back to the Past again.
The next movie is Back to the Future when they fix some crap up there.
Okay, let's do one more story, and this is a fun one to kind of palate cleanse after all of that. Have you guys heard of this Hot Girls for Cuomo website? It's basically some influencers who support Andrew Cuomo for governor of New York City. They put together this organization, Hot Girls for Cuomo. I had noticed an ad for it on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I guess you go to this website and you get to see like some saucy ladies supporting Andrew Cuomo. Well, they didn't secure the domain name in time. So basically, when you go to hotgirlsforcuomo.com, you will be redirected to a report on the sexual harassment allegations against the ex-governor.
Ouch.
So, I mean, it's just the kind of thing where it's like, I would think you would have that secured if you're going to be driving people to that website.
That reminds me of, do you remember I Have a Crush on Obama? Remember that girl?
No.
She was a very pretty girl that did a video back before everyone was doing videos, singing a song how she had a crush on Obama. And it went, what today would be viral.
Now I remember her.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
I was probably avoiding that at all costs.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right.
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct, and my copy here, you can see, is based around fall. First thing it says is fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects. Not untrue. You know, just because it's marketing doesn't mean they're telling any lies. This is a great time to get replacement windows because right now, literally right now, we're in that stage where you can still keep your windows open most of the time. You don't have to put on the air conditioner, maybe the heater a little bit at night. But very, very soon, you're not going to be able to do that. And most of the energy lost from heating and cooling, and when you get your big bills, it goes through your windows. So if you're not sure, you can reach out to Universal Windows Direct. They'll come out, and I promise this is true. They will be fair. They will be accurate. It's not like, oh, yeah, I'm inviting a window company out to tell me if I need new windows. Duh, I wonder what they're going to say. They'll give you the real deal, okay? You've got another 10 years left on your windows, or these are very great windows. They're 20 years old, but they're okay. Or if you need them, you can buy two, get two for free. 0% financing for 3 years, $500 off your total bill when you mention the DGS. If you want to have a conversation with them, call 314-334-2522 or universalwindowsdirect.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, this traffic report is a service of the Poly Agency. Over in Afton, Higgy Road is currently closed between Valcourt and New Hampshire for a rescue. A person stranded up in one of the towers, the tower worker. So they have all the equipment staged on Higgy Road. That's why it's closed there. If you're on westbound 64, Boyle headed out to McCausland, bumper to bumper. South 170's backed up. Olive to 64, eastbound 64 backed up through the Intervelt. The westbound side still slow west of Lindbergh to 270, a little busy. Approaching the Boone Bridge, 364 out to 70. The usual stuff on 270 between Manchester and Olive. Southbound, though, runs from about 364 to Doherty Ferry. A couple of slow spots approaching Gravois and Tesson Ferry. Southbound 55, south of Arsenal to Bates. South of M, most of the way down to Z is backed up as well. Westbound 44 slow through the Arch Grounds. Westbound 70, a little back up at the airport. West of 94 to Zumbel, Cave Springs to 370, and then A to Z out in the Wentzville area. In a world of cookie-cutter health plans, the Poly Agency is proud to represent coverage that's tailor-made to fit your needs. The Poly Agency puts the sure in insurance. For a free quote, call 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
St. Louis. Fall is finally here and back with everything you love about the holiday season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra brings the Ghosts of Christmas Eve to Enterprise Center, December 23rd at 3 p.m. A portion of the proceeds benefits Sightman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve at Enterprise Center, December 23rd at 3 p.m. For more information, kingmox.com/events.
With new treatments in the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the time for action. Join the St. Louis Walk to End Alzheimer's Saturday, October 25th at Chesterfield Amphitheater. Help us see a world without Alzheimer's. Register today, alz.org/walk.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
.353 DGS, really quick. Things that were normal 30 years ago but are a luxury now. Concert tickets. So true.
Yeah.
So true. I'm trying to take Nick to see Rush in Chicago. I knew I'd spend some money. It's going to be like a $5,000 trip.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's
what?
Wild.
Yeah.
How much are the tickets?
Minimum 500.
Damn.
For good ones, 3,000.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. New furniture made out of real wood. It's so true.
I don't even think they make that anymore.
You're right. You're right. I remember going furniture shopping with my mom and dad at Ethan Allen, and everything weighed 1,000 pounds. And now it's all, even if you get it from a good place, it's all crap. Single income families being able to buy a home.
Man.
Yeah.
Leg room on an airplane, meals on domestic flights. Yeah, why have so many things gotten worse? Things aren't supposed to be worse.
I'm going to guess corporate greed, but,
Affordable health care, we were just talking about that. Privacy, being able to let loose and have a good time without the risk of being recorded and popping up on social media.
There were meals on domestic flights?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, my God, yeah. Full-ass meals.
On China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And we're not talking first class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
And I mean, for a while there at the end, they were pretty awful.
Yeah.
Like, they were worse than frozen dinners.
But for a while, pretty cool.
Yeah, go back in the, 80s, 70s? They were decent. Yeah.
Tell you guys about my friend Mark Cantor and Cantor Injury Law. He was just in about an hour ago. Cantor is a good guy. He's a very serious guy. He has his fun out on his farm in Cantor land and riding ATVs and hunting and things like that. But when it's time for business, he is deadly serious. He is a very serious trial attorney, which, as I keep pounding into your heads. Just because you say you're a trial attorney, there's a 90% chance you're not. It's one of those things that lawyers like to say, I'm a litigator, I'm a trial attorney, I'm in front of juries, but being in front of a jury twice a year does not make you a trial attorney, okay? Mark is. He tries cases if they need to be tried. If the settlement is fair, then he is not above taking a settlement. Whether you've been injured in a traffic accident, like I had about a month ago, medical malpractice, you take a fall on a golf cart or an ATV, you're hurt at someone else's property, a grocery store, whatever it is, give him a call. 314-628-9999. Make sure you let him know you're from the DGS. CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Thank you, Missouri, for making Genesis of St. Charles your #1 and most trusted Genesis dealer for 2025. Thrilling offers for an unforgettable season are now here at Genesis of St. Charles. For a limited time only, get 0% APR for up to 60 months on all new Genesis models. You don't want to miss this one. These offers absolutely end October 31st. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024 on approved credit for Genesis Finance. See dealer for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Granger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies